Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Warmer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Genshin Impact, and we have Lynette with us today. Not fully leveled, not fully ready, but honestly, like, she's here, and she's gonna do fantastic, as she does in everything she does in life. We're doing the Clorinde story quest today, which is known as Judgment Day, but I want to show you guys here how weird the story quest thing looks to me now. This is just weird. You know what I mean? Like, I know this is like, you know, it's just, and then there's also like this character has a story quest too, but this is just so weird to me now. Just because it's like, I don't know, like I'm so used to this just being such a vast sea of story quests. The fact that it's no longer there is very, very strange to me. It's very strange indeed. This is the party we're using today for Clorinde's story quest. It's going to be Xingqiu, Lynette, Fischl, and Keqing. I couldn't fit the full name in there, so we just went with whatever they gave for me there anyway. I actually think this is actually going to be a pretty fun team. Yeah, not this team isn't even fully leveled. I think the most powerful members of the team is always going to be Xingqiu and Fischl. Lynette and Keqing are here as well. I'm going to try and basically use Lynette to the best of my ability. It's probably not going to be that great. But that's the whole point of like trial and error for me. Like I like doing a bit of like, oh, can I do it? Will I do good this time? Will I not? Let's try it out. And with Clorinde today as well, I don't know what to expect from her story quest, but it's one of those characters that I definitely have been dying to see a bit of an expansion on, even though we like already are a big fan of Clorinde. It's really interesting to see what this story is going to entail. Oh my god, and Navia's there too. This game is so freaking good. This game is so good. Wait, I shouldn't be standing here. Looks like I'm hiding behind here. Look out.
Huh? Do you also see Navia and Clorinde over there?
Yeah.
They look like they might have run into some kind of trouble. Let's go check out what's going on.
Heck yeah. Oh my god. It's so cool to see them.
Still no dice?
I love that they're like always hanging out together now. Like mending that relationship that they have, which is so freaking cool. It's one of my favorite things they've done with Navia and Clorinde.
Not at all. And I've asked pretty much everyone in the court of Fontaine already. Lynette's ears drooped as soon as she heard that we'd have to be out and about for days on end. And Fremine, he hid himself under his helmet as soon as he realized there'd be people around that he didn't know.
So they're asking him if they know or maybe if there's something they want people to do.
What about Chiori and Charlotte? I feel like both of them would be more than up to it.
I've asked them already, but they're both pretty busy right now. I just gave the members of the Spina a few days off too, so I don't want to bother them either.
Oh my god, sweetheart. Absolute sweetheart.
This is getting pretty difficult.
And they both do the same pose. Look at this.
Navia, Clorinde, what's up?
Oh my. Well, if it isn't my
Oh
dear
my.
partners. How are you all doing?
Did you hear the way she said that? Oh my.
Oh my.
Greatest character in fiction.
Navia?
Yeah, I understand what's happening now. They need help with something, and the two biggest helpers in the whole of Tevacha showed up.
Huh? Oh, you mean...
It's fate.
Yep, this is our chance.
Oh my god, there's a smile. What are you going to do?
Do you need our help with something?
Oh, precisely. My dear partners, we've got a huge problem right now that only you can solve.
Well, whoever you need me to kill, just let me know.
Whoa, for real?
Absolutely. We've already exhausted all our other options.
What is the problem? It doesn't matter what it is, we're going to be helping.
Traveler, Paimon, would you join us and play Marechaussee Hunter Judgment
Wait,
Day?
you're doing the Sino pose? What do you mean? Like, what is this? What is this?
Marechaussee, what now?
It's a new game script by the Tabletop Troupe.
Oh.
A local roleplay adventure club.
Oh my god. So Fremine was like shy that he was going to have to meet new people at a freaking tabletop game. That's so sweet.
Ever heard of the Tabletop Troupe? They put out games that allow you to participate in a story and roleplay characters with your friends. Oh, I've loved their stuff ever since I was a kid.
That's nice. I'm not opposed to any tabletop games. I'd love to play with you guys.
That sounds super interesting.
Clorinde and I are both veteran members of the club. Recently, someone came up with a new script and was looking for people to help playtest it for them.
Let's go.
And when they asked, of course I couldn't refuse. I mean, come on. A brand new script? Nobody has ever played it before.
No, it does sound amazing. Like, it does, and again, especially for someone who's a fan of that stuff, like, to, like, try out a new, like, I don't know, like, whenever I got to do, like, it's like doing a closed beta for, like, a video game, which I've gotten to, like, whenever I got, like, I signed up for that stuff, and, like, a bunch of other people did too, and, like, maybe, like, the Elden Ring stuff, it was always, like, the best feeling in the world. It's, like, something you love so dearly, and you get to try it as soon as possible. And, like, not only that, but you get to try it before, like, a lot of other people too. It feels fantastic. Like, especially since, like, you know, you're so into that type of stuff as well. I can imagine if you're into tabletop games and you get to try out, like, the mechanics, the world building, all this stuff, like, it must be freaking, like, Navia must be in heaven.
Generally speaking, scripts at that level of development have a lot of issues, but I think this one is pretty solid. The author obviously put a lot of work into the story, and the world building is also quite credible.
Oh, great. So you're into that too as well. And I want to say as well, that's not me bragging, being like, my channel got me into a closed beta. No, like, most people know that you sign up for a closed beta and literally anybody can get in. It's more to do with, like, you know, what region you're in, what your, like, status or how many, like, you know, it's not to do with the channel. Like, I didn't even put my channel's name in that, but I just realized it sounded like I was like, well, I got into a closed beta. But, like, it's nothing to do with the channel.
Whoa. I know I was the one that handed you the script, but some of us
Oh
haven't
my
read it
god.
yet. No spoilers.
No spoilers,
please.
Clorinde. I adore them.
Anyway, the script calls for a team of 4. Ah, yes. We're missing one final player right now.
You're right, there's one big problem. I'll do it.
So, you're saying you'll help us out?
Yeah.
I knew I could count on you, partner.
I was literally ready to kill somebody for you just 2 minutes ago.
Paimon and the Traveler are kind of a package deal. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, Paimon, we're not going without you. As much as I adore everyone here, you know that you were always coming with
That's
us.
not a problem. I'll adjust the pace based on the actual number of players and ensure that everyone has a good time.
Sweet.
Well, Traveler, what do you think? Wanna play? Paimon will follow your lead.
Yeah, always for a friend in need. Always.
Well, that solves our problem. You have our thanks.
I love that they were trying all these characters in Fontaine before us as well.
I'll go grab the script manager from the club right away.
This is so fun.
The script manager? Didn't you just say that you gave Clorinde the script?
The club introduced a completely new kind of gameplay for the script. In this iteration, the Game Master's version of the script is incomplete. The script manager provides the next part of the script only after players have completed the current list of objectives.
Oh wow, and I wonder if that's a really good way of keeping, like, spoilers away from
On
people
top
as well.
of that, in order to increase player immersion, the club has created some of the story's sets and scenes in real life. We'll only know where we should go once the script manager reveals the starting location.
That is sick. This sounds so fun.
Wow, you're right. Whoever wrote this script really did put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's got a real healthy amount of suspense, right? I mean, even the GM doesn't know how the story will end.
I look forward to experiencing it with you all.
Clorinde, this is
Why
such a
don't you
fun
go
day
meet up
already.
with the others first? They should all be waiting at Chioria Boutique. I'll come over with the script manager as soon as I find them.
Sounds good. Remember to always watch where you're going, and don't rush.
You say that like I'm 6 years old.
Oh my
or
god, I love her
something.
smile. I love her smile so much. Like, and I said it a million times, she does bring me such comfort, Navia. I adore being around her.
Let me think. What kind of character should I play this time?
Like, she just, like, I'm gonna say it now so we can get out of the way. Like, you have to know this, guys. Like, just seeing her brings me happiness. Like, it just calms my whole, like nature. Like, I'm just, like, in a state of, like, pure bliss when I'm around Navia.
I just hope you'll pick up some useful skills this time. Oh, and stop trying to persuade every animal you come across.
Oh, adorable. Silent Night. Laperia Chapter 1. Or Act 1, I should say. Okay, so we have to meet up with the others at Chioria Boutique. It's actually very fitting, I think, that we're playing as Lynette today. Lynette, by the way, is actually a really underrated design, I think, as well. Not that, like, I don't think people like her design. I just think, like, from my perspective, a Calvin underrated design that I don't talk about enough. I think it actually is, like, really, really nice color palette-wise. And oh, is that? It's Linny! And Farina! What the hell? What a freaking day.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
What a day.
You're back. Huh? And you've got the Traveler and Paimon with you too.
Yeah, but like, yep, I don't know what to say. This is the best.
What a pleasant surprise. I assume you'll be joining us for the game then?
Yeah.
Linny, Farina! Paimon didn't know you were playing too. Are you also members of the tabletop troupe?
Hey, you two. This is so fun.
I'm more of a casual member, if anything. I haven't taken part in many formal club activities. Lynette, Fremine, and I play something similar at the Hotel Bouffe Tété sometimes, but I'm usually the GM.
Without, yeah, I honestly like. I feel like you would be good at like weaving a story and like being very like eccentric when you're weaving that story.
Still, I'm sure it'll be fun being a player for the first time. I'm looking forward to it.
This
Well, I'm not a member of the club at all. Clorinde simply woke me up first thing this morning, said there was a good script worth experiencing, and asked if I wanted in.
that makes so much sense. And like, this is why I appreciate like a lot of like quests in this game, especially like as we have gone on in the future. Like, there's more and more they introduce like a full cast and characters, and it's been happening like, you know, not in just Fontaine, but like more and more you'll have like, if this character has a story quest, they'll always have this character in the story quest. It makes the world feel so full, but also it's just nice to see the characters that we love and adore again, right? I said at the end of the Navia story quest, remember I was like, oh man, like this is probably goodbye to Navia, but like in reality, we've probably seen her like so many times in so many story quests since then. We saw her in the Chiori story quest as well. We see like it's never truly goodbye in Genshin, and I love that, you know? It's always just see you later.
If you're interested, I can give you a referral. That should give you a 40% discount on membership fees.
Oh, nice. And yes, I know that some characters haven't made a return in the story. I understand this as well. I'm talking about, whenever I talk about something, I'm talking about my player experience and how I feel, by the way. I know I don't speak for everybody. I think, you know, that's always something people should realize whenever I'm talking about stuff. I don't speak for everybody. I'm speaking on my own player experience.
I think I'll wait to see how this experience plays out first, especially when it comes to the quality of the script. If it's sufficiently fun, then I'll join.
She's right. She has standards, guys.
Do you participate in a lot of tabletop troupe activities, Clorinde?
You could say that. She's actually one of the few senior game masters of the troupe.
Right. I knew about that even when she was still my subordinate.
So yeah, they still had like knowledge of each other's activities and hobbies.
It's nothing. Really, just a small hobby of mine.
It's cool though. That makes it cool. You're like so tough. You're so strong. You're so badass. But you also have like these little cool hobbies as well.
Wow. I'm so used to seeing you be all upstanding and intimidating as a champion duelist. It's kind of hard to imagine you role-playing with a bunch of friends.
That's what makes it so interesting to me. It's like everyone has those little quirks about them that like make them so different and so interesting that you wouldn't even realize that's like their hobby. So there's any problem with any of the rules? Do we have to submit to a duel request to you?
Surely you jest. I would never intentionally make things difficult for my players.
Intentionally.
I maintain a clear boundary between my professional and personal lives. The me you see at court represents the law and order of Fontaine. I put all personal feelings to the side and grant a fair duel to all who seek to defend their honor.
And we believe you. And we believe you.
But in my personal life, I'm just an ordinary person. Someone who feels anger and sadness, just like everyone else.
Well, you say that, but for all the time I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen you cry. I've seen you get angry, sure, but now I'm wondering whether you were actually mad or if it just looked that way from the outside.
I was probably in work mode during those times.
I love that Farina can like pick up on stuff as well because they've been around each other for so long.
Is that so? Well, in any case, I just feel like even in your personal life, you don't get emotional very often.
So you want to see me cry? That might be a little difficult. A show of anger, though, that might be something I could
I believe it. I definitely believe it.
No, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, she doesn't want that. No one wants that. This is so cool. I feel so lucky. I keep saying that over and over again in these Genshin episodes, but like it is true. Like more and more, I just like I'm appreciating it. Like as we're getting closer to catching up as well, I feel luckier and luckier.
I'm back. Here, allow me to introduce you to the script manager, Mr. Florian.
Is that not one of the champion duelists that I always see around the place?
Pleasure to meet you all.
Hello? Wait, are you a champion duelist too,
Yes,
Mr.
I literally the other day I was like going through Fontaine for a bit and I saw this guy, and I was like, who's this? And it said champion duelist.
Oh, no. This is just the costume.
Oh, he's
provided
dressed
by
as a
the
champion
club.
duelist then.
I occasionally play a few of the roles in my scripts.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a more immersive experience. Anyway, allow me to give you a brief introduction of the script.
I won't get over the fact that we're standing here with Clorinde, Navia, Linny, and Farina. Like, it's so... Like, especially with everything that went on during Fontaine, the fact that we're talking about playing a board game together is so special to me.
This script was adapted from the real history of the Marechaussee Hunters. You all will play the role of hunters from a bygone era and resolve a series of events unfolding in the capital.
Paimon's not super familiar with the history of the Marechaussee Hunters. Is that a problem?
Oh, no problem at all. I can give you a brief rundown. So, basically, Marechaussee Hunters were people who dedicated themselves to hunting monsters and protecting the city by using a special swordsmanship technique passed down over generations. Their story can be traced back to the ancient Remurian dynasty, as well as the first hunter, Cassiodor.
Oh, a Cassidor mention. Okay. Honestly, like, it wasn't planned to do this, like, directly after this quest, like, at all. But I guess, like, it fits.
But I'll leave the finer details for you to seek out and discover later.
Because they were talking about, like, the idea of the Marechaussee Hunters as well during this, like, but I didn't pick up on it fully. But it is so cool that Cassidor's been mentioned. It's almost a perfect, like, lineup of what we played here. And isn't it so funny? Imagine we played this before that quest, and like we would have heard of, that would have been so that would have been probably like even cooler in a way. But like I'm glad we have it this way as well.
And I'll provide additional commentary as the story progresses.
In that case, brave hunters, are you ready to set out on an unknown adventure?
Whoa, just one sentence and it's like we're in the story already.
Aha, I see many a determined gaze before me. Very well, head over to this location and begin your heroic
So
journey.
fun.
So, as we follow the story, it leads us to specific scenes? Ooh, sounds pretty interesting.
What a laugh.
What does the message
It's
in
more of a
the
giggle,
envelope say?
an exciting giggle.
It's the exact location of the scene, as well as the formal permission to use the venue. Seems like they have everything prepared. Please check all your belongings, everyone, and make sure you haven't forgotten anything. Once you're ready, please follow me to the designated location.
Sounds good. Hunter Squad, move it!
Hunter Squad, great name. Great name. Yeah, like, this is so fun. This is so fun. And like, it is... and again, it's one of those things I don't take for granted, right? First of all, the mention of Cassidor is fantastic. If I like I didn't pick up on that, that's 100% like, okay, fully about the Marechaussee Hunters yesterday. That's like perfectly fine if I didn't pick up on that. I'm not gonna be too upset about that. It happens. Like I don't apologize for missing stuff. Like because literally it's usually like 5 hours of dialogue. So like it's like okay, we'll deal with that way. Also, I will say that the reason why I love quests like this, the reason why I adore like seeing these characters afterwards. And the same thing when we did Sumeru's story quest, we got to see people hang out. Same thing with like after Inazuma, we got to see people hang out. Even in like when we go back to Mondstadt or Liyue, it's one of my favorite things about Genshin is like not taking it for granted. The idea that we have been through so much and now we get to have such a fun time with each other. It is such a special thing for me. Hydro Christopher, give me those. Okay, we'll get you later. We'll get you later. Like, I don't take it for granted is what I'm saying. Like, it just feels so nice. Especially understanding, like, how much we went through. How much everybody went through in this game. Is pretty amazing. Like, if you look at the stories of Clorinde, Linny, you know, Navia, Farina, and now like getting to play a board game with them, and I know things are gonna get very serious. Like that's what happens with story quests usually. We talked about it last time with Sino's story quests. You get like kind of like nice thing that happens at first. Is that table all set up for us over there? You get this nice feeling at first, right? This really nice like hangout session kind of. Oh, look at these big boys. Look at these big boys. You get this nice hangout session at first. You get this nice ease into everything, which I love, and then something serious will happen. But for now, I'm gonna appreciate all the little details. Look at this place. It's beautiful.
We really have thought of everything. Even the photometer is here and ready to go for us.
So cool.
The photometer. What's that?
It's a card that's used to determine action success or failure. We'll need to use it when we try to use certain skills.
And what about all the dessert and tea? Is that for us as well?
That's what the message said.
That is okay. How could you not sign up?
Really?
Friends, food.
That's so nice. It feels just like a tea party with friends.
There you go.
Those snacks have Paimon's name written all over them.
I think you might be more of a snack hunter than a Marashose hunter, Paimon.
Ozzy Pie, but you should appreciate that nickname.
Snack Hunter Paimon?
Yeah, exactly.
If there are delicious snacks to be
Look
found,
at her.
Paimon will track down every last one.
Her poses are always the best.
The desserts are great. But I'm still looking forward to the story more than anything.
Very fair. Then, let us begin.
So excited for this.
First,
Oh my
please
God,
pick up
they're
the
just-
blank
it's just like a
character cards in
tabletop
front of
game.
you and write down your name and profession. You can find an abbreviated version of the rules printed on the back of your character card. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
Yeah, the nervousness that Clorinde is probably feeling right now is the nervousness that a lot of DMs have when they're trying to introduce someone to like Dungeons and Dragons or something, which is like, I hope to God that they have fun, right? Because while you're trying to craft an amazing story, like I feel like when you're having like first time players there, like the first thing you're thinking of is, yes, I want to play within the rules. Yes, I want to have this, I want everything to be like really fun for me, but also I feel like people always like when they're introducing someone to like Dungeons and Dragons or any tabletop game, the first thing they will do is like make sure that people are having fun.
In this story, everyone is a Marashose hunter. To reflect this, the club has prepared a small badge for
Oh,
everyone.
cool.
Ooh, nice.
Get into the role-playing
As
aspect.
hunters, you have proficiency in swordsmanship and fighting by default, so there's no need to allocate any additional skill points to those areas.
Neat.
Swordsmanship? So there's a fighting part to all of this? Paimon's not sure she can do all that on her own. Maybe Paimon can just stick with you?
Always, always.
Why don't
Yeah.
you share a character card then? The traveler will be the Marashose hunter, and you can be his little floating assistant.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of like
Yeah,
in
look,
real
that's like
life.
like it is like in real life. We'll take it.
For the name, do I fill it out with the name of my character?
Yep. It can be any name you like.
Oh, what's Farina gonna choose?
You
Or
can
we
use
even
your
get to
real
see the
name, too,
names?
if you want. I do that whenever I get too lazy to think of a new name.
Yeah, Queen. Lazy Queen.
Oh, so it would be like experiencing a different life, but still as yourself. That's not a bad idea.
I want to make sure that yeah, she used the word lazy herself, because afterwards I was like, did I just call her lazy? And that, like without like, because then if she didn't say lazy, that's not a funny joke together. You know what I mean? She's definitely not lazy, by the way. I want to make that clear. In fact, I'm gonna scold myself. Bad Calvin, but I meant it more as a joke, obviously. Like, but I would never call her lazy for real. But we all get lazy sometimes, and she's so funny for doing that.
In that case, I think I'll continue to use the name Linny then.
It's a great name.
Next up is the skill sheet. You have a limited amount of skill points that you can use to learn a number of skills. The more points you invest in a particular skill, the easier it will be to pass associated checks.
By the way, Linny being like, hey, my name's just perfect.
I'll take persuasion and investigation. Those are must-haves when it comes to missions like these.
Sick.
Oh, those skills sound like they'd be useful for gathering intelligence. Good idea, Navia. Just as expected of a veteran player.
I'm so happy that everyone's getting into this.
So should we also take those skills then?
Everyone needs to have like, you can, but like it's good to have like a spread of skills.
Not necessarily. Since we're working together as a team, we could leave the negotiations to Navi.
Yes.
And use our skill points to pick up other useful skills.
And it leads to many, like if in D&D terms, it leads to a lot of like fun situations, whereas like there's like a hieroglyph or like a statue or a message on a wall that's written in a different language or something like that, and you can be like, Mark has proficiency in languages or proficiency in religion. Can you check this out over here or something like that? And like, and he can check and maybe has an advantage on stuff. Oh, he has a history advantage. Check that out as well. oh, he knows this language. Check that out. You know, and it's so much fun compared to like then afterwards Mark can be like, oh, I can't jump very well. Can you get up there with an acrobatics check and then grab that and bring it back down? Like, it leads to a lot of fun situations like that leads to more camaraderie and conversation, and I guess like also more immersion.
For example, I think I'll take stealth and sleight of hand. That will give us more options if we run into any situations we can't negotiate our way out of.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I suppose it's not so different from an acting troupe. Everyone has their own role to play. Let me see. I'll take arts and performance. I'm not quite sure what use they'll be, but I'm not as knowledgeable about the other skills, and I am not too confident I'd be able to roleplay them well.
No, that's arts and performance is actually like very, very perfect for you as well, because like performance can like, if again I'm going with D&D terms, it could be different, but performance can go into like literally like trying to trick someone, trying to make someone believe something, trying to like, you know, to do a speech to like get past something.
Well, that leaves us. What do you want to learn, Traveler?
I think medicine.
Ooh, so you want to help people when they're injured.
Yeah,
That's nice of
and
you.
insight is very good too.
Oh, something that'll help you get a read on other people's thoughts. Sounds useful.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like, I especially with the spread we already have.
So what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn these two skills?
Yep, that's what we'll go with.
Let's see. Oh, looks like you each have enough points to choose one final skill.
You've all picked such classic skills. It's fine to go a little bit out of the box, you know.
Why do I get the feeling she's getting ready to cause trouble?
What?
For example, this one here. Summon. Doesn't it sound super mysterious and cool?
Is she trying to make us pick it?
Oh, I saw that one just now as well. The description says...
Frieda's so excited.
This skill can be used under certain circumstances to summon characters or creatures that fit the script's world-building rules.
The script's world-building rules, huh? But how are we supposed to know what a Marashose hunter can summon?
Oh, that's not for us to worry about, my friend. Just learn the skills that interest you, and the GM will take care of the rest.
Wait, so is she...
All right, you've convinced Paimon. Let's learn summon then. Paimon can't wait to see what kind of thing
Is it a difficult thing to like maintain?
Well, now that everyone's more or less finished creating their characters, we can begin.
I love that as well. She's like, oh god, Navi's the troublemaker of the two.
Since two of our players are doing this for the first time, though, let me ask, would you like to play on easy mode or authentic mode?
What's the difference between the two?
Well, in role-playing games, the story sometimes changes based on the decisions of the players and the results of the fatometer. For example, if you fail a check, that means you cannot use the target skill in that scenario. A critical failure may even result in further negative consequences. If you choose to play in authentic mode, every time you elect to use a skill, you'll need to use the fatometer to see whether you succeed or fail, and face any consequences that may follow.
Right, so it's almost like a survival mode in a way. Wait, so that's like pretty... Actually, no. It's, for example, you fail a check, that means you cannot use a target skill. Yeah, that's pretty normal though, right? I guess that's fine.
If you choose
Yeah.
easy mode instead, every check will be successful by default, and you won't have to worry about luck playing a factor.
No, we won't play that mode, will we? Like, there's nothing wrong with it, by the way. I'm just saying, like, I feel like for a tabletop game, you might want to pick the other one. Random checks triggered by Fame off... What? We're actually playing this? Often serve as indicators for Destiny's course success or failure between an action. Press and draw cards and random number between 1 and 20. If the number is displayed is greater or equal to the number... No way. The random checks triggered by the Fameometer often serve as indicators for Destiny's course or the success or failure of an action. Press and to draw a card and get a random number between 1 to 20. If the number is displayed greater than or equal... No, my god, it is. We're actually playing this game. Players role-playing in the scene in the story can sometimes affect the results of check. Your current check bonuses will be added to your randomly drawn number, make it easier to pass checks. In easy mode, all checks...
Given that I'd like to focus on the story, I suppose I should pick
That's so cool.
easy mode. I'd feel bad if I brought the team down by failing my checks.
And that's fine. Like, there's literally nothing wrong with choosing any mode. It's the same with video games, man. I never I never get that where it's like, oh, you played in easy mode. Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? Play whatever mode you want. If you want to play a game on super easy mode, super hard mode, ain't none of my business.
Huh? Oh, come on. Don't worry about that. RNG is the lifeblood of role-playing games. I'm going with authentic mode.
Of course,
for
Navi
sure.
is.
Never knowing what you might have to overcome. Ugh, doesn't that sound exciting?
Yeah, I mean that's why I like it too. I love the chance rolls as well. That's really fun.
I'd rather be mentally prepared.
And that's
for
so
what
fine,
might
Farina.
happen.
That's so fine.
All right, then I'll mark down Farina for easy mode. All her checks will be successful by default. As usual, Navia and Linny will play on authentic mode.
What about you, dear partner? How would you like to play?
I'd pick easy mode just to go along with Farina and like give her support, but I feel like, you know what, we're gonna be playing this game, so I'd probably want to play the mode that like I want to go with, which is probably be authentic mode.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. We're actually playing this game.
Trust me, you'll see the beauty of
We're
RNG.
actually playing this game.
Honestly,
This is insane.
I don't think Clorinde would make things too difficult for us, no matter what the Fatometer says. Isn't
No,
that right,
punish us.
Clorinde?
Punish us, Clorinde.
No.
Yeah, punish
promises.
us.
That wasn't super reassuring.
It's okay. We're just playing a game together. This is so
Well,
fun.
anyway, enough talk. Let's get started. I want to experience at least a good chunk
No,
of the
this is
story
the best.
Speaking of the story, why is the beginning scene on a beach?
Well, that's because a long time ago, back when human civilization
What?
was still in its infancy,
What?
powerful demons and evil sorcerers ruled over the land. They created a host of monsters and sent them to slaughter all humans
at this.
in existence.
Look at this art. Oh my god, we're getting special UI, special art. Clorinde, you look gorgeous. Oh my god, look at this outfit. We're getting special UI for this game.
Soon, a group
my
of human rebels banded together. With their swords raised, they swore to brave the darkness, and in doing so, subdue each and every monster that sought their destruction. They became known as the Marachose Hunters.
No, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I need an empty PNG, transparent PNG of this, just so I can put my own text in it. Oh, this is so cool. It's so cool. Wait, what's happening? Wait. No freaking.
Sometime later,
No
as a member of the
freaking
Marachose
stop.
Hunters, you receive a commission. Following the address provided on the message, you take a boat and arrive at this
Is that
strange
Mondstadt?
city. As you inhale, you can taste the slightly salty air of the docks as you begin to survey your surroundings.
This is so cool.
There aren't many people in the vicinity, but you do take note of a few others who, like you, seem to be sizing
This
up
is
the
incredible. We're actually playing this game. Like, we're gonna be playing the roles
threat.
of
Your
this.
eyes meet, and you realize these people are fellow Marachose hunters, likely led to this location after receiving the same commission as you.
Incredible. No, this is more than I expected from this. And like, of course I expected like an amazing story quest because that's usually what happens in this game. I didn't expect special UI, a new gameplay mechanic.
You're all Marachose hunters too, right? Allow me to introduce myself.
Look at
My
Navia.
name's Navia, monster hunter by trade and helpful neighborhood businesswoman on the side.
Look at her with the coin in her hand as well. You look amazing.
What say you to traveling together?
Yes.
We can help each other out on the
Sure,
road.
100%.
Okay.
Oh
Count me
my
in.
god. Look at these different freaking outfits. They all look amazing.
My name is Linny. I've been wandering since
Oh
I was
my God.
little and picked up a few less than legal tricks along the way. I was adopted by a Marachose hunter and later chose to follow in his footsteps.
Okay, but like, I'm sorry, but all of these outfits are absolutely incredible. What, like, they can't tease people like this. Why aren't these alt outfits? Why aren't these alt outfits?
Is this where you introduce your character to everyone?
You got this.
It sounds like they've done this dozens
You've
of
got this.
times.
You've got this. You really have.
My name is Rena, and I grew up in a noble family. I always had a strong interest in performance and the arts. Even though I'm a Marcia Say hunter, what I really want is to be a performing artiste.
Heck yeah, Farida. I have a feeling of like euphoria. I have a feeling that I could like literally lie down right now. If I went to lie down on my bed, I would just fall asleep almost instantly because I feel like I'm on a freaking cloud right now. Look at these different outfits. And she's a bard?
Hey, that's really cool.
Yeah, no, she's a performer. Like this is going to be second nature for her as well.
You can do it, Farina. That's exactly
And Navi
what
being
it's
all
done.
supportive. I'm sorry. This is out. Like I did not expect this at all.
Paimon is Paimon.
Oh, Paimon.
Friend and companion to this Marashose hunter right here.
And look, she still has her little shorts. She has little shorts. Does she keep changing those boots as well? And the freaking heavy. Oh, Paimon. Adorable. Absolutely adorable. Her little shorts go up to like almost her neck.
I've been studying medicine
What?
ever since I was a child.
What?
I want to do my part to eradicate these monsters and use what I've learned to heal
We got
others.
doctor. We got freaking doctor. Wait, do you get different outfits depending on your choice? What if you got a chef if we just cooking? No way.
Oh, welcome. When we face the monsters, I'll make sure to charge in front to give everyone some cover. You can take care of the healing at the back.
This is not right. This feels illegal. It feels like in the best way possible. It feels like I don't even deserve to see all this.
You open your envelopes at the same time. The message
No,
reads,
this is the best. This is the best.
To the honorable and trustworthy
she's standing there.
Marashose hunters, our kingdom is currently facing a grave crisis. The lands outside the capital have been overtaken by monsters, and our people are being led astray by forces of wickedness. We beseech you, please help us resolve this crisis and return peace and stability to our home.
Huh. The layout of this city looks super familiar.
It's Mondstadt. Yeah,
It kind of reminds Paimon of Mondstadt.
yeah, for sure.
The scriptwriter must have used a real-world city as a reference when coming up with the map.
As experienced hunters, the layout of the city reminds you of places once traveled. You recall the sight of tree-lined streets and the gentle tranquility of days gone by.
Very good description, Clorinde.
Yet, as you regard the city in front of you, it appears to be little more than an empty shell. Its hollow gates are open to you, beckoning you to come forth and bring salvation back to the town.
You're so good at this, Clorinde.
I carefully
can't get
read
over all
every
these
line of the
outfits.
letter and turn my attention to the signatures at the bottom. Who issued this commission to us?
And even the pattern, I didn't even notice that. I was just like looking at the eye patch and everything. Even the pattern on the freaking jacket is so cool. The cowl is so cool.
You see a long string of unfamiliar names. It would seem that many of the residents of the city issued this commission together. They sensed that things were not right within the kingdom.
I want to say as well, like
and
it's such
sent a
a
distress signal to the outside world.
such a good choice to have Clorinde show up like as a narrator, as if she's like in people's heads, but like just around them as well, so we can still see her.
In
Look at
that
Farina.
case, why don't we take a walk around the city and see if we can learn anything from the local
Sure.
residents?
Oh, good idea.
Oh my
We
god,
might
look
be
at
able to get
Navia.
some leads on the monsters and bad guys we're after.
Oh my god, we're in Mondstadt as well. It's a
You
domain?
look up and see a tavern nearby. It appears to be open for the day.
Yeah, but there's no Diluc in here.
Why don't we go check out that tavern? If the novels I've read are anything to go by, taverns are usually full of information.
Yep, true. You're very, she's an actress. She's an artiste. Oh my god, we're in Mondstadt for this like fun little wait. Am I in? Have I died? Have I died and gone to heaven? Like, what is happening? No, the UI is absolutely... We can't go ever on monsters, you can see with the map. But the UI is absolutely incredible. The way that they're presenting this with the outfits, with the way Clorinda's narrating this, so good. Like it's going the extra mile as Genshin often does. It's not something that's just like this basic presentation of a story. They could have done this D&D thing in so many different ways. They could have. They 100% could have. They could have done it in literally like they could have used the actual PNGs of the characters that they use for the actual they could have done anything, and no, I don't think anyone would have complained. No one would have been like, oh god, they only used the actual PNGs of like the characters and stuff, I guess. Because like I wasn't expecting this at all. They could have used the normal UI and no one would, and still would have been like, oh, this is a super fun quest. They went this extra mile to make everything so fun like this and so immersive.
As you approach the tavern, you find a plainly dressed woman standing nearby.
It's describing everything we're doing.
She appears to be rather troubled about something.
It's describing everything we're doing. That's so sick. And she's gonna play, yes, because she's gonna play the characters like a DM. Yes.
Greetings, friend.
That's such a good way of showing it.
Today, don't you think?
Oh, hello. I suppose you're right. The weather today is quite lovely.
Wait.
If only those monsters out there would stop causing
Is that
trouble.
Clorinde doing a voice?
It seems like every character included in the script has a certain amount of useful information to offer. If we keep asking questions, we might be able to get some good
You
leads.
got this, Farina. You got this so good.
Oh, come now. Don't be sad. Life is all about optimism. Oh, that reminds me. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I need these alt outfits.
Huh?
I don't think that's the kind of question.
Wait,
we're supposed
I
to
now know
ask.
Navia's personality. Navia's personality is the type of person who, like, I'm guessing is like when, like, the DM sets up a full story, like, you see the demonic stone door, it opens for you and beckons you closer. And Navia's the type of character that goes, I'm going to go the opposite way and go back home. And you're like, wait, what? I'm going to go back home. They make a little bit of trouble for the DM.
Nothing turns a frown upside down like good food. How about some macarons? I could make you some.
You didn't even take cooking as one of your skill proficiencies.
That's not necessary, miss. Excuse me for saying this, but you don't really look like a chef. Besides, I'm not really a fan of sweets.
So you're someone who barely smiles and doesn't like sweets. You're really starting to remind me of this one friend of mine.
I'm dying. He's reminding you of Clorinde. Yeah, she's making trouble for the DM.
Hey, did she just...
Yeah, she did. She did a little tut.
Clorinde must have broke character for a
Yes,
second.
100%.
This is
Look up my
anywhere.
man.
Traveler, maybe you can
I'm
think of
sorry, that, like,
something.
those little shorts, the shorts are almost at her neck and the cape and everything and little boots. Sweetheart. I'd like to get insight check to see what's troubling her.
The results of insight checks aren't disclosed to the players, so I'll be the one consulting the
Wait,
phaetometer.
so... Oh my god, here we go! We got, what do we get?
You recall all the
Okay.
lessons you've learned in your time and begin to carefully observe the woman's mannerisms. You notice that when she's quiet, she has an empty look in her eyes, as if her thoughts have drifted to a place far, far away. And when she speaks, she often subconsciously reaches out to
Yeah.
touch the ring on her left hand.
Husband. Clorinde, great writer. Husband.
So you noticed. That's a little embarrassing. A horde of monsters suddenly appeared near the capital recently, so all the guards were dispatched to fight them.
Do you remember when those monsters appeared?
I'm not completely sure. All I know is that my husband was dispatched to fight them 3 days ago.
Do you know where he was sent?
I love Farina getting into this as well.
It
I
all
love it.
happened so fast. When we said our goodbyes, he couldn't even tell me where they were sending him.
You have our thanks, friend. We'll find and defeat those monsters as soon as possible. We sincerely hope your husband will be able to return to your side soon.
Thank you.
Don't worry. We'll find him. Just try to remain optimistic and wait for good news. We don't always get to choose what happens to us. But we do get to choose the little things like what we eat and how we respond to the things life throws our way. I hope that one day
Whoa.
you too will recognize the power of something as small and inconsequential as a delicious
Oh
dessert.
my god, yes though. I just saw it as her causing trouble for the DM, which is always very funny. But what she's actually saying is that, like, maybe she's trying to talk to, like, Clorinde in a way too.
I'll do my best.
Because, like, I kind of agree. Like, I talked about that story in, like, one of my favorite animes ever. I'm not gonna say which one because I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a story, like, I've talked about before, about the story about, a guy who was trying to kill somebody, and then he saw that the person that he was trying to kill, like, was enjoying a very small thing in life. A very small, inconsequential thing in his life. And he thought to himself, I can't kill this person because, by God, how can I take that small thing away from them? I know it sounds like it's so out of the order to say it here, but I think that always hit me so hard when I was younger, because I was like, man, yeah, it's like, yeah, it is the small things really do make us like complete people in a lot of ways. The little things we love really add a lot to our day. I love tea. Like, I love tea. And while, like, if you took tea away from me, I'm not gonna, like, you know, pass away. But, like, it's a huge part of my life because it is just a small thing that I love, if that makes sense. Just like sweets in the sense, as Navia is saying. It's like, yes, sweets are inconsequential, but that sweet that you eat after you've had a hard day is one of the most important things you've ever had in your life.
You bid farewell to the woman and continue your journey
Very cool.
further into the city.
Yeah, very, 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 very sick. Very sick. Where are we going now?
As you venture further into the city, the streets appear
I can't believe we're
largely
Mondstadt.
empty. An elderly woman walks past. You see her shake her head as she puts away her wrinkled wallet. A nearby merchant folds his arms and gives you a disdainful look. You get the impression that he's someone who has long gotten used to the sight before him.
Well, we're going to talk to her. This is the Clorinde's doing such a fantastic job, by the way. Really fantastic. What are you looking at me there for?
Although he doesn't seem very friendly, merchants are usually a good source of information, right?
Yes. Hopefully.
Pardon me, sir. I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
That depends.
It is Clorinde playing
How
all the
much are
voices.
you willing to pay?
How about this much?
What do you take me for? Some lowly beggar? You can't even buy half an onion with that amount.
Okay, Clorinde is very incredible.
Surely an onion can't be that expensive, right?
You never bought an onion?
What do you know? War's nearly upon us. Everything costs several times what it did before. If you're not gonna buy anything, then scram.
Whoa, what a nasty guy. Maybe we shouldn't even bother talking
Yeah, he's
to
very,
him.
he's very rude, but it seems like something's bothering him as well. I can't get, look how adorable Paimon looks.
But he still might have information we need. Traveler, can you think of something?
Persuade him.
Sir, we came to this city to solve the very problem you seem to be referring to. The war you mentioned, would it happen to be against the monsters outside the city?
I never thought we'd find another hat that would, like, suit, like, Navia. Like, you know, actually, no, that's actually wrong, because I feel like her hair is so beautiful that, like, she could probably wear a... I think I just meant a hat that, like, would suit her, like, just as much in a way. Because that hat she has is iconic, right? So to have another hat on her PNG and it still looks really good is pretty freaking crazy. But she has such amazing hair, though. Like, I feel like she could literally wear, like, a cup on her head and you'd be like, oh, looking lovely today, Navia.
If you happen to be well informed and know a thing or two about what's going on, we'd appreciate it if you could share that information with us. After all, the sooner this problem gets resolved, the easier it will be for you to do your business.
So let's see. She go, oh, a 20! Is that insane with D&D and not 20?
Well, things are basically as you said, young lady. Those monsters are camped outside the city, and they've been destroying all our trade routes. We have limited reserves within the city, so if this continues, we're all gonna be in big trouble.
Wait, you're saying no one has put a plan in place to distribute supplies or maintain order?
We could all starve, and those nobles in the palace wouldn't even break a sweat.
Great world building by Clorinde.
Who knows? Maybe they've been in cahoots with the monsters all along.
That is concerning.
All right. That's all the information you need, right? Off with you now. I've still got business to do.
Well done, Navia.
You know, if you smiled a little more, you'd definitely get more business. And I bet that would make your life just a little bit sweeter. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to work. It's just a tip.
I never know how to take when someone says if you smile a little more. I never, because like anyone has ever been like, you know, like in a like I don't know, it's always like weirder advice. But like I think from Navi's perspective, she's literally just like trying to spread as much cheer as possible, whether it be through cakes or smiles or anything, you know. I don't think she doesn't mean it in the way that like a lot of people might be like, you know, you should smile more.
Trying to go somewhere with more people?
Oh, how about the city square? Follow
It's
me.
so weird being in Mondstadt. Hey! Ad Astra Abyssosque! Where is she? It's so weird. And having Mondstadt's gate closed, this is actually like kind of cool, a cool sight. Just because in a way I feel like we're gonna see this eventually. Let's go to this the city center. Door resurrection, so if we die, we'll come back here.
Before you lies the city's central square. You see a man with a slightly anxious look on his face, pacing back and forth, his head hanging low. He doesn't seem to notice your approach. Still immersed in his own
Shaking his head.
thoughts, he shakes his head and lets out a long
I love
sigh.
everything she's describing is happening. It's awesome.
This guy seems promising enough. Maybe I can get some information out of him.
Go on, Farina, let's go.
Hello, sir. Is there anything
Do you see her amazing outfit? Would you like to help her?
Wait, you're...
Wait, so she knows?
I'm...
Oh, dear goodness! You're a Marashose hunter!
You know what's so funny? They're trying to like Clorinde's voice actor is very talented because what they're doing now is not just like doing a bunch of different voices. They are doing a bunch of different voices as Clorinde. Like that is difficult to pull off. Because the thing is, I have no doubt in my mind that a lot of these voice actors can do like a deep male voice or a male's voice or like a kid's voice and all this stuff. We've heard it done before. But it's very clear to me that like Clorinde got the directive to be like, you have to play characters as Clorinde playing characters.
You recognize us? Ah, are you one of the people who wrote the commission letter?
Yes, yes! Oh, I didn't expect you to actually come. Oh, what great news! The city is saved!
Yep. Well, we're here.
What happened here?
Alas, we once lived comfortable, carefree lives. This city used to be free of monsters. The first Marashose hunter, Casiodor, the Golden Hunter, he was the one who drove them back. However, monsters have once again surrounded the city. Perhaps the seal that kept them at bay has lost its power. Or perhaps an evil sorcerer has been meddling in our affairs. All I know for sure is that their return has stripped the city of any chance at peace.
Are there not enough soldiers to drive them out?
It's not a question of numbers. The guards simply have no idea how to deal with them.
Okay.
Most people my age have never even seen one of the monsters, much less been trained to fight against them. What's worse, many of us don't even know the history of the Marashose hunters anymore. When I was a child, though, my grandfather would tell me stories about how the Marashose hunters drove back the monsters. So, on the off chance that something might come of it, I decided to reach out to you. To be perfectly honest, I was starting to think all those stories were just tall tales. But now that I've seen you in person, I finally know that it was true.
Well, you can rest easy, friend. The righteous and formidable Marashose hunters are on the
Heck
case.
yeah.
The man is touched by your determination and resolve. His eyes begin to well with tears of
Oh
relief.
my god, Clorinde.
Still, if we are going to hunt the monsters, we need to know where to find them. Can you give us any leads?
That's a good start. Honestly, a good start.
All I know is that the area outside the city is dangerous. I'm afraid I can't point you toward a specific location. Oh, although, if you leave the capital through the main gate and follow the road, you should run into a group of guards. They might know more about where to find the monsters.
I see. We'll go look for them then.
All right, be careful. Oh, and one last thing. The monsters outside the city are just part of the problem. There are evil sorcerers inside the city as well. So be on your guard. They're actively working with the monsters and have corrupted the court ministers with malicious magic.
Oh, so it's an inside
They're
job
the
as well.
reason why, even inside the city, everything has been a giant mess. Even one of our kindest ministers has turned into a boorish and unreasonable figure, interested in nothing but enacting laws that exploit the people. Who knows how much longer we'll be able to go on like this.
Oh, because this is actually like a lot deep. The story is a lot deeper than we even thought. It's not just going to be killing monsters. It's going to be taking down a whole freaking like inner workings of a freaking government.
Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, so even if you stop the monsters, you still have like the inner workings of the city not going too well for you as well.
I feel bad for him. Maybe we should try to cheer him up?
Farina could sing him a song?
Like, now? Is this really the right time?
I don't have proficiency in cooking anymore, so I can't do it.
I appreciate your kindness, but for now, it's more important to focus on the crisis at hand.
This is what I mean, the DM being like, I appreciate it, but yeah, go.
Brave hunters, I leave the future of this kingdom to you.
Sure. These transitions, man, they're really freaking cool. With the badges and stuff. So I guess we're going to a new location, or back here.
There are currently 2 problems in the kingdom that need solving, right?
No, the way it's presented is fantastic. The way we're going back again to like, you know, when we're breaking immersion, we go to kind of like the regular text in a way, like now, like which I think is like, you know, it's a good way of like transitioning in between 2 spaces. Because it does feel that way when you're playing D&D sometimes. Because when you're talking, it does feel like the text is on the screen. It does feel like you're in you're in your outfit, you're your character. Then when you turn to your DM and go, okay, so how do I do this then? You almost instantly become yourself again, right?
Exactly. We need to defeat the monsters outside the city and take down the evil sorcerer stirring up trouble from within.
But which problem should we tackle first?
Well, this seems like a good moment for a break. Take some time and discuss what you want to do. Let me know when you've made your decision.
I don't know. I think that like taking down the forces would be easier, but then like you'd have to like deal with the fact that the sorcerers and stuff would know, right?
I really didn't expect the people in the city to keep us at arm's length like that. I totally thought the hunters would be treated like heroes.
Well, Clorinde said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right? Maybe the real-life Marachose hunters were also treated like that.
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history, but there are definitely some similarities. Would you like to hear more about it?
Always.
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script. You brought up bits and pieces of the hunter's history before, but it was all in passing.
Hyman wants to know too. The hunters were super powerful, right? Were they all from a special line of supernatural beings or something? Kind of like the yokai in Inazuma?
No. All Marachose hunters were ordinary mortal fighters. The only thing that set them apart were the special sword techniques passed down over the centuries.
And I wonder if we're going to get like more information even on Cassidor now.
Huh? So you mean anyone could become a Marachose hunter?
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is survive the rigorous training and master the swordsmanship techniques required to fight the monsters. Still, most people dropped out at the early stages, and others called it quits the minute they saw a monster in person. To become a hunter,
Beautiful music.
you must be strong in both body and mind.
What kind of monsters did the hunters fight exactly? Oh, and the evil sorcerer the script mentions. Did they exist in real life too?
The land of Fontaine once played host to an ancient dynasty known as Remuria.
I can't believe we're doing this right after
After
this.
that dynasty fell, monsters began to appear, intent on obstructing humans from establishing a new social order. One of the ancient sorcerers of Remuria used his power to assemble a formidable army of golems. He sought to use that force to establish
I'm
himself
sorry,
as king.
but the fact that we're getting this directly, like it's almost like it's complete chance that I was just like, because I honestly wasn't going to do the Remuria quest this week. Because I was sick last week, I was like, will I do a full voiced world quest this week? I was like, no, I'll do like a reaction to the summer event. You know what I mean? Just so like I don't have to like talk and do the voices for like 5 hours this week. But I felt better by the time we get around to it. So I was like, yeah, let's do a bunch of voices. But it's really crazy that we're going like right into this afterwards.
Now, wait a second. Don't tell me that guy was the inspiration for the evil sorcerer in the script.
Oh my god, she's so afraid of
We haven't found
spoilers.
any in-game information on him yet. So, why don't you talk about someone else for now?
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But if you want me to talk about something else, then... How about Casiodor, the Golden
There we
Hunter?
go.
Or Egeria, the ex-Hydra one?
Yeah, which they also mentioned a little bit as well in the quest as well.
Wait, but those people are all from a super long time ago. Where did you learn all this, Clorinde?
From my master.
Your master?
Huh. By master, you mean Miss Petronia?
Is someone you know?
It's interesting as well that like sometimes they do like a very well, no, the question still stands. 100%. No, because I was gonna be like, oh, the question probably would be like, where'd you learn all this? Like, it's kind of weird just because we literally just learned a lot of this stuff recently, but then I'm kind of like, well, still we learned it because we actually got to like interact with the past. You know what I mean? It still makes sense for probably to be like, well, how do you know this? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my
Sorry for
father
the
were good
coughs,
friends.
guys.
Back in the day, she would often bring Clorinde over to play, but
Oh my god, can you imagine these two playing together?
Let's not get off topic. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed Casiodor into battle against the monsters. This group of warriors, under Casiodor's leadership, became known as the
So cool.
Hunters.
So freaking cool hearing about this stuff.
Yet,
So cool.
as Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually became obsolete. The Marechaussee Phantom, originally an association made up of hunters, eventually came to be predominantly comprised of Melusines.
Talishard.
Ah,
Talishard the
I
Brave.
see. That explains why most of the people in the script have forgotten the hunters or think of them as nothing more than a legend.
So good. Yeah.
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can get tough always being the one shouldering everyone's expectations.
Oh, Farina. Farina would know so much about this.
Depends on who you ask, I suppose. If the name of the organization no longer commands respect, investigative work is bound to suffer.
Speaking of investigations, which problem should we tackle first? Monsters or evil sorcerers?
Is it going to be my decision?
I vote monsters. That's the main duty of the hunters, right? We can come back to the sorcerer later.
Well said, Miss Farina. Plus, if the sorcerers really are the masterminds behind this whole thing, defeating the monsters could give us some clues on their intentions as well.
What about you, partner? What do you think?
I'll go everyone else as well. 100%. Like again, it's not that I kind of agree. I think getting rid of the forces first means they have less to deal with us with, but also it could inform the sorcerers that we are like on the case of this as well. So I think, yeah, I'll just go with whatever else is thinking as well.
It's decided then.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
All right.
We're back in
After
it.
some
We're back in it.
discussion, You decide to turn around and head out of the city.
Yeah. I love that they talked more about Casiodor and the golems and all this, and how, like, you know, they might have been looked at in a different light in some situations as well than we saw them in as also, so very cool. Again, not planned in any way, shape, or form to do this right after the Casiodor mission. Not even planned a little bit. Just very lucky.
Let's take a look around.
Look at her!
You there, outsiders, halt!
Oh, Clorinde, you're so good at this. The scar in the face, kind of, yeah.
Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a tall, muscular build and a determined expression in his eyes. Just one look, and you can tell he's fought in his fair share of battles.
What's really cool about this, the way we see him, this is the way we see him. Paimon probably sees a different thing. Farina probably sees something different. Linny sees something different. Navi sees something different. Even Clorinde probably sees something different. Because you describe something to someone like, you know, like a tall, muscular man. For all we know, like, from Linny's perspective, it's like someone the size of, like, you know, like, that's the size of Dave Bautista or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's so cool about D&D. We're all, like, thinking in our head what we're thinking of, you know? Even though Dave Bautista is, well, no, Dave Bautista is tall. He's, like, what, 6'8"? 6'6", I think he is. I could be wrong.
Although he's trying his best to conceal his current state, his uneven gait and the sweat dripping down his forehead make it obvious that he's been wounded and is in serious pain. I'm the captain of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the city earlier, so I'll only ask this once. State your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since someone's been this suspicious of us.
But he's a 6'3", I believe. I got that completely wrong. Yeah, I love the way Clorine's doing these voices. It's great.
Talk, not whisper between yourselves.
Hey, no, you don't talk to Paimon like that. I'm sorry, no, it's Clorinde playing the character. Clorinde, I'm sorry. Sorry for talking out of turn, Clorinde. Sorry.
Have you ever heard of the Marchese Hunters?
Marchese Hunters? Ha! That fairy tale, you mean? What, you expect me to believe you're one of them?
I'd like to do a medicine check to see if I can help him. We're counting on you, Navia. I'd like to do an insight check to see what he's thinking. Let's do a medicine check to see if we can help him. Oh my god. Okay, let's just go. I'm gonna close my eyes. 4. No! No! We had to get 8. Wait, are they gonna show a failure? No, they're gonna show a failure.
With some suspicion, the captain allows you to survey his condition after you announce yourself as a trained doctor.
Herself as a trained doctor.
Unfortunately, you're unable to adequately assess the source of his injury, much less come up with a way to relieve his pain.
Honestly, it's still fun, I guess, even if you
I'm
fail.
sorry. My skills
Doctor?
are a little rusty.
I'm sorry, every time I see this image, it's crazy to me. Absolutely nuts. He reminds me of like a Tails character.
Well, this is no ordinary wound. It was inflicted by a monster. Now tell me, are you truly a Marachose hunter?
Heck yeah.
He regards you with suspicion for quite some time before shaking his head. Perhaps he's finally accepted that you're here to help.
Sir, we were indeed in the city earlier, but our purpose was only to gather information on the monsters. We're here to help this city and all the people within it. Your guards are still fighting the monsters as we speak. They could be seriously wounded and in grave need of support. You need all the help you can get.
Great persuasion here. Oh, she's doing she's doing a persuasion check. 19! Queen of luck, queen of the cards.
The man regards you with doubt and concern. After a period of inner struggle, he lets out a long sigh and informs you of the locations where the monsters have appeared. Some of our new recruits have never even dealt with a petty thief, and now they're out there fighting monsters. If it weren't for this cursed leg.
I'm never gonna get over Clorinde doing all these voices.
Oh, please, sir.
It's so fun.
Don't get too worked up. You need to focus on your recovery. Just leave the monsters to us. We're Marchose hunters after all.
Heck yeah.
Hearing you say that, a glimmer of hope
Oh, look at the
flashes
smile.
in his eyes. But it disappears almost as quickly as it came. Those monsters aren't easy to deal with. But if you insist on going, I won't stop you either. I just hope all the guards will be able to come back to their families alive. I wish you the best of luck.
So, and now we're moving in the forest as well.
Based on what the captain said, the monster should be right up ahead. Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
And it's even like when Paimon talks to us in this, and so Rush is playing too, apparently. Yeah, like this is just has been just a stellar presentation, a 10 out of 10 presentation with some amazing like we talk about the UI and the character details and all this stuff as well. But even getting to
As
actually
you
play the
approach
game is so fun
battlefield,
too.
You see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds.
Jesus, Clorinde. The writing that Clorinde is doing here.
A few of the wounded look up at you in shock and disbelief.
And they're pointing towards the danger?
Quick, leave this place. Turn around
No.
and don't look back, they yell.
A lot of them have scars on their face. A lot of them. Are the monsters up here? A door resurrected. This is a domain. And I love the way they have like the kind of like the burnt edges, like almost like it's an old piece of paper on the edges of the screen as well. So cool. Failing that check was one of the most fun things ever. I don't care if I fail because it's so on the fire as well, because it's so freaking fun. Wait, the scratches?
This is the place he mentioned, right?
You see broken iron swords scattered all around you, and downed trees riddled with terrifying
You can see
claw
Razor?
marks.
No, this broken sword stuck in the ground in any area is
All
such
the
a good image
signs
always.
point to one thing. A truly devastating battle just took place here.
Like it's a haunting and beautiful image of a battle.
Be on your guard, everyone. The monsters might still be around.
Before you can finish your sentence,
Oh my god.
you hear rustling sounds from the surrounding bushes. The monsters
What?
have emerged.
Rift Hounds?
They close in on you without fear. You get the impression that, in their bloodthirsty eyes, you're just another meal.
Yeah,
for
but
them
look at
to
this
devour.
crew though. Look at this crew.
A little help here. This thing wants to eat Paimon.
Paimon, I will never let anyone eat you,
The battle
ever.
round begins. Now.
Do we roll checks? No, we do. Oh my god. This one. Come on, please. Okay, 8. 8 check success. Okay. This is so freaking cool. Wait, and then we so we would have failed otherwise?
Bombs away!
No, I feel like I don't like deserve some of this sometimes, guys. I feel like I don't deserve what this game is like. I'm just like how is it like that? I said it the last time. I am literally like 800 hours into this game, and I am stunned by what this game has given me.
The
Still.
next battle round begins now.
Oh wait, a golem. From the
And voila!
Marisha, from the actual what you call it, from Rumeria. Okay.
The monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment
That's
before dissipating into thin.
those golems, by the way, are real people. They're real people who are changed and turned into like this terrible stone creature.
Thank goodness it's over.
We're lucky the Marashose Hunter class came with all those preset skill points. Otherwise, we would have been in some real trouble.
Yeah, but honestly as well, I love the check at the start. I wonder what would happen if we failed. Would we just like get our arse beaten?
I never knew the photometer even determines the amount of damage you inflict. If you get unlucky,
Wait.
isn't it just game over right then
So
and
if we
there?
got like a 20, we would have been doing like OP damage forever?
That's part of the fun.
I agree,
The
Navia. I
uncertainty
agree.
of fate is what gives these games their appeal.
Yep. It is like it's fun because even like if you're playing like which I want to play Baldur's Gate on the channel, do a second playthrough of Baldur's Gate on the channel with you guys, and I think one of the most appealing things about Baldur's Gate in general is the checks, right? Like the idea, like because even like I understand people getting angry at them. It's like, oh my god, I got a 4 again, but it's like that's what's fun about it, man. It's so fun because you can try again. If you die, you get to reload. You know.
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump on the ground catches your attention.
It's like a chest.
A suspicious lump. Wait, could it be the thing that appears after every battle?
I walk up to it,
It's a chest.
crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it.
Oh my god.
I've still got my right glove on, so it should be fine for me to touch it.
Navi
right?
doing such a good job of describing her
As
actions.
you investigate the mound, you discover that the exposed portion appears to be made of wood. It was previously obscured by the large form of the monsters. With the monsters gone, the small protrusion now awaits your discovery, poking out of the ground like a shy flower bud.
Ooh, it's a treasure chest!
We're so let's dig it up. Paimon's so excited. That Paimon outfit is the most adorable thing in history. It really is so adorable.
With everyone's help, you successfully excavate the wooden chest from the ground. Even without opening it, you can tell from the mora and jewels scattered around the chest that it must contain quite the fortune.
Makes sense. We worked hard for this. Let's open it. We can share what's inside.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think about it. Doesn't it seem like there are people out there who need this treasure more than us?
Linny being an absolute sweetheart here.
Yeah. Think about all the people suffering in the capital. Or all those guards who got hurt fighting the monsters. Wouldn't it be better if we gave the treasure to them?
Wait, is that how it works? Paimon thought since we were the ones to dig it up, we could just take it for ourselves.
It's okay. I mean, like, that's not a not normal thing to think about, right?
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game can impact the future course of the story.
Yes, 100%.
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're Marchese hunters. What if they think we procured the treasure illegally? They might get even more suspicious of us.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Something we should consider. Maybe we can come up with an explanation in advance.
Well, if donating it could cause that much trouble, why don't we use it to buy some gear and fill up on good food? Then we'll be ready to fight even more bad guys.
Paimon's like, we're using this for the food fund, man.
Looks like you're facing a difficult choice once again. Well, it's getting late. Why don't we call it a day for now?
Wow.
This was so
Where did the
freaking
time go?
fun.
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all or because the story is particularly enticing, but I feel like I could almost keep going.
I mean, like, it's been great. It's been so good.
Here, here. Ooh, how about we play through the night?
I'm not sure I'll have enough energy for that.
And she needs to read the light novels and late at night.
Yeah, that won't work for me either. Lynette will give me an earful if
Are
I
you
get
kidding
home
me?
too late.
Are you kidding me? That is so sweet. Lynette gives out to him if he's even a little bit late. That is so sweet.
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change venues for the next part of the story anyway.
Navi, I love how Navi is so excited to play this game, right?
Huh? Another location?
Mm-hmm. There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to proceed to an indoor set for the next part of the script.
Whoa, they really pulled out all the stops for this new script.
Well, even if we end the game for the day, we can still stay a little longer and hear Clorinde finish her story, right? Paimon wants to hear more about the history of the hunters.
Something tells me you just want to finish the free desserts before we break for the day.
And what of it? The desserts are for eatings, aren't they? Paimon, quickly grab them all. Quickly, Paimon.
That's just a coincidence, okay? Besides, to Paimon, not finishing free food feels even worse than having to buy her own.
I agree. Let's not let it go to waste.
And anyway, Paimon really does want to hear more about Clorinde's master.
Same.
Well,
if the story doesn't have a happy ending, it's okay not to finish it.
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern, but it's all in the past. It won't do any harm to share these things now.
Yeah, but like obviously, like we it's good to have that consideration for someone as well, just in case. You never know. You never know where their head might be at.
My earliest memories are of living with Master. According to her, she saved me from certain people of ill repute. My birth parents had left me behind some time before that.
Oh my god. Like there's such a big theme in Genshin sometimes of like kids being left behind, right?
What a heavy beginning for a life story.
Yeah.
Master was a fascinating individual, if inexperienced in the ways of raising children. My first ever toy was a short sword, although I suppose it wasn't so much a toy as something Master removed from her waist and handed to a noisy child in need of distraction.
So she literally was like, hey, like, just take this. But honestly, like, that makes sense why you're so, like, good with a sword, right?
Oh, wait, so she handed an actual sword to a child? Isn't that dangerous? Did you hurt yourself?
Of course I did. I cut my palm and bled quite a lot. But Master was not concerned. She just stood there and casually lectured me about it. See, that's what you get for not holding the sword properly.
Oh my
she told
god.
me. She then crouched down next to me and said, "Give me your hand. I'll teach you to bandage this wound. After that, it's time to learn how to truly hold a blade."
I totally, like, get that idea of, like, you know, now I'll teach you how to do this, right? It makes sense. It's honestly, like, some people do like to, like, parent that way where it's, like, let the child make the mistake or whatever. But in this sense, they handed them the sword. And as Clorinde said, they're not like, you know, very knowledgeable about how to take care of kids. They handed Clorinde the sword. Any kid who has never seen a sword before will try touching every single aspect of that sword. They will. But afterwards, at least she was like, hey, I'll teach you how to bandage it.
Excuse me for asking this, Clorinde, but how old were you exactly when all this happened?
Probably around,
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
give or take.
Okay. 3 years old. A 3-year-old's gonna put that sword in their freaking mouth. You know what I mean?
3? Isn't that when most kids are still struggling to hold a fork?
Most kids are still grabbing the food with their hands.
As I said, Master was rather inexperienced in the ways of raising children. She believed trial and error was the best way to teach a child what they're capable of.
Very like Hank Hill way of teaching kids, right? You know, and by the way, I love Hank Hill. I love Hank Hill to death.
I'm not
But,
so sure this is a question of experience.
Yes, no, I agree, Lenny. It is like you're like it's just factually so. If you hand a kid a sword at 3 years old and then they get hurt, that is your fault. That is not the child's fault at all.
I didn't see anything wrong with her ways at the time. And anyway, children don't get to choose how they're
Yeah.
raised. Oh, she did bring me back a pet from Liyue once.
What?
It was a Geovishap hatchling.
How are you like so nice? You had your pet was a
A
Geovishap?
Geovishap hatchling? For a pet? That seems even more dangerous.
Okay, can you go back to this part you said she didn't know how to raise children? Because I think we have a like a lot of evidence here.
What she said was this: make sure to get along, you two. If you really can't agree on something, just settle it with a fight. Whoever loses is the real pet.
What?
And how old were you when this happened?
5.
I think that I'm glad, I'll just say this. I'm glad that you turned out so amazing.
Well, did you win?
Honestly, a little bit of me there. I got into a fight. Did you win? No, like I don't fight. I don't like getting into fights. I think that, like, you know, it never solves anything in some ways, depending on what happens, by the way. Frina with the did you win?
No, I lost.
So you're the pet? No, stop. No, that's not right.
So you're saying you actually became the Geovishap's pet?
Yes, but only for a week. By the end of that week, I defeated it in combat, and we've shared a cordial relationship ever since.
What was she doing? Like, was she like sleeping in the freaking Clorinde bed?
That really doesn't sound like the kind of childhood someone should have.
Not at all. Now I'm not even saying that's a Hank Hill. Hank Hill wouldn't even do that.
Later on, I gradually understood that Master most likely didn't know any other way to raise a child.
Yeah.
She was a
That,
Morris
yeah,
Shosei
that sounds
hunter,
like that.
but I never heard her bring up her own parents.
But, like, here's the thing as well, though, right? Yeah, she definitely knew how to raise a child. 100%. But, like, I don't know. I think even, like, someone who doesn't know how to raise a child would know not to hand her child a sword.
Thanks to her, I learned how to navigate the forest by the age of 6, and could hunt monsters in the wild by myself the year after that. Even though the training she subjected me to was strict, she always made sure to take me traveling when she had the time. We met many of her friends during those days. That was also how I met Mr. Callis and his family.
All right.
I still remember the first time we met. You were too scared to join our picnic and hid behind Ms. Petronia the whole time.
Oh, for real, Clorinde's scared as well.
I still hadn't really met many children my age at that time, so I didn't know how to interact with others.
That's interesting because she mentioned she had a cordial relationship with a Vishap, so, like, because of the way she was brought up, like, at the time she probably felt more comfortable around, like, a beast than she did, you know, a human that was exactly, that was similar to her.
After that, though, you started coming over a lot. You loved challenging people to shooting competitions, remember? I don't think many members of the Spina ever beat you in one of those.
I had a lot of fun during those days.
Clorinde's story is so unique. Like, it's so, like, again, so unique to a lot of other characters in this game, but, like, I feel like she could relate to some characters who were also brought up in a very dangerous way. Maybe, like, I don't think you can even, like, compare it in the way, but I'm saying, like, in terms of, like, no, I'm trying to think of it, because even, like, if you say Child was, like, brought up in, like, a crazy way. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of when he, like, met Skirk and all this stuff, like, because I don't know the full story, obviously, behind all of that. But like there is like some very tough upbringings in this game, but I feel like all of them are very unique to each other.
I enjoyed them too. Oh, do you remember that one time we went exploring around the Spina together? We overheard Papa call your master Fontaine's Protector of Justice.
Oh, cool.
We tried to pretend like we never heard anything, but you nearly let it slip that one time.
What she was gonna say to her?
Protector of Justice. Oh, wait, you mean that vigilante hero from 20 years ago? The one who is always active at night?
Yep, that would be her. She often would put on a black cloak and go out at night. I never knew where she went or what she was doing. Until, like Navia said, we overheard the truth from Mr. Callis that night.
That's so cool. And especially like if you like, that's your like basically surrogate like mother. You're like, oh my god. Like that's my mom.
20 years ago, huh? I still remember the guards leaving all kinds of witness reports about her on Nervalette's desk.
My apologies.
Oh, there's no need to apologize. You had nothing to do with it. And anyway, everything she did was for a good cause.
Great, we're looking at it, yeah?
Although, calling herself the Protector of Order was a bit much. Especially when she deliberately operated outside the law.
Huh? When did the Protector of Justice become the Protector of Order?
It's a different name, isn't it?
Oh, she had a bunch of code names. I heard she would just come up with a name on the spot whenever she was asked.
Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Changing your name whenever you're asked.
Later on, she probably got sick of answering those questions and decided to stick to just two. The Protector of Justice and the Protector of Order.
That sounds like her, all right. I bet she forgot which of the two she'd use by the time she got back each night.
Well, she certainly sounds like a fascinating individual. With her strong sense of justice, it's no surprise her student followed in her
It's also no
footsteps.
surprise that like Clorinde is like considered to be so strong, like so powerful, and like it gives weight to all the scenes we saw her in before, like how like she was able to like stand like in the presence of like people like Nervalette and Risley, and like not even like feel out of place, because it wasn't just her energy. Clearly, as they saw that too in her too, like how tough she is, and it probably was a lot of her upbringing, you know.
It's true. I always wanted to become like her. Someone powerful, independent, and with a strong sense of conviction.
You're definitely powerful, and I guess you have a strong sense of conviction as well. I say you're independent as well, but again, I don't know the inner workings of your heart as well. What do you feel differently about that?
But...
She suddenly disappeared the night I turned 10 years old.
10. That sounded like a life story. Most people have gone through like life stories in that sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how crazy that is.
Disappeared? What happened?
I have no idea. She didn't even leave a note. I was never able to find out where she went. That night, I was celebrating my birthday at Navia's house. But Master never came to pick me up. When I returned home on my own, it was to an empty house.
By the way, celebrating her birthday at Navia's house. Probably because it was more equipped to handle a birthday as well. And then she just came home to it. Imagine on your birthday coming home to an empty house.
And she still didn't appear after a few days. I went to Mr. Callis's house to ask about her whereabouts. But he only shook his head.
Oh, so maybe he had an idea but didn't want to say.
Probably didn't know either.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I know he sent a few people to investigate the matter in secret, but they never found any credible
I was thinking
leads.
just because he shook his head, like, you know, usually if you didn't know, you'd be like, oh, no, I have no idea, you know?
Don't worry, I understand. To be perfectly honest, given Master's personality and way of doing things, it all made a lot of sense. If I had to guess, I'd say she probably used it as an opportunity to force me to become independent. Just like how, when a litter of kittens reaches a certain age, the mother willingly leaves them behind.
Yeah, weeks. it does happen. Like it's like they will literally just like those kittens become like almost like they go from like my darling babies to companions to you better pull your weight. You better.
Were you upset, Clorinde?
It's a tough day, like
was
on your
at
birthday
first.
as well.
But not anymore. I don't believe Master would suddenly disappear for no reason. There must have been something she just had to do.
And the way you're looking at this as well, which is actually like, you know, from the perspective of someone that you trust her so much that she wouldn't just leave you, right? And you still believe in all the teachings that she taught you too.
Well, despite everything, you still managed to follow in her footsteps and become the greatest champion duelist in all of Fontaine. You're practically a living symbol of law and justice.
Paimon coming in with the very, very clutch way of expressing this.
I suspect my position would be far too by the books for her. Master always did whatever she pleased. But you're right. I suppose I do take after her in some ways.
Yeah, but like the way I look at it as well with Clorinde is that like even though she is by the books, she was in an era of great change for Fontaine just recently. You know what I mean? An era that like, you know, things have gotten much better. And I feel like she was a huge part in that also.
Who knew Clorinde had such an interesting past? I never had the chance to ask her about it before.
Yeah, as well, she doesn't seem like the type to just express it willingly either, you know? Like out of nowhere.
If Clorinde's master were the champion duelist back then, would that duel against Mr. Callus have gone differently? Oh no. Judging by the atmosphere, Clorinde and Navi are probably thinking something similar. The mood just got super awkward all of a sudden.
That's why it's super difficult, obviously, as Farina is pointing out, to bring up the past between Navi and Clorinde. They just mended, obviously, the relationship, and I think their relationship is going to be fine. But, you know, it took a lot. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of, a healing process that is something that a lot of people would not even be able to, like, go through to get to the point they are now. And, like, the past is definitely the thing that, like, broke up their whole, relationship. So to hear this again and is probably difficult.
Well,
Yeah,
anyway.
it's very difficult.
Would you look at the time? It's getting dark, so we should probably call it a day for real this time. If we keep talking like this, we really will be here all night.
Sure.
I had a great time today, Miss Clorinde. Thank you for being our GM.
Anytime.
No, she was
The
fantastic.
script was good, but I've got to say, your childhood stories were even better. Hey, you should tell us more about that fight against the Geo-Bishop sometime. Maybe your master was onto something.
I mean, like the what is she saying she's onto something? Well, let's see what she's.
You could be right.
Okay, so maybe it's either she's saying that she should be like she's joking about how she was a pet, or she's saying that like, you know, the two of us should fight.
What does she mean, onto something? I certainly don't know any 5-year-olds who want to fight a bishop in their spare time.
Same, Farina.
Guess I'll head back as well. I need to save my energy if I want to continue enjoying the story tomorrow.
You're that excited to hear about my fight with the bishop?
I was talking about the script.
Honestly, though, like I would like to hear the full details of the fight with the fish app. So good, and like a very is Linny and they're gone. Okay, let's talk to the gals before we get into anything here.
Just between the two of us, could you tell me what it was like to be the Geo-Bishop's pet?
Such an interesting
It
question.
was nothing special, really. Geo-Bishops don't understand the concept of a pet. So basically, it just headbutted me whenever I entered its
And
territory.
a Geo-Fish app?
And that hurt?
Yeah, it hurt. What, something you want to experience for yourself?
Oh, I'm good. Thanks.
Clorinde just said, Navi, do you want a headbutt? I love these two together, by the way. It's so sweet as well. Yeah, that's a very interesting and unique story that Clorinde has expressed to us as well. And I feel like the uniqueness of it comes from the fact that, like, it's not... Like, usually when we hear stories about the past, like, obviously they are, like, very sad. And in this case, it was very sad in some cases, too. But I feel like with Clorinde, it's a story that, like, really could only be hers, just like it is, like, when you hear other people's past stories as well. It's a story that can only be theirs.
Paimon's really looking forward to today's story.
And And like the reason why it could only be hers is that like it not only explains something that we didn't, and that's what's so cool about this game. We didn't ask for an explanation of why Clorinde is so strong. We didn't ask for an explanation of why she's so tough, or why she's very closed off in some cases too. But now it makes perfect sense. She was brought up in a way that is trial by trial by error. Understanding things as you go, and like when you fail, you get back up. When you fail, it's all the way over here. Jesus, you work to then fix that mistake and all this stuff as well. And I feel like while there's other ways to become super super tough, like you can have an amazing childhood and still like learn to like be amazing, really tough. But she sees her childhood, and that's what's so unique. Where she's like, yeah, like it was crazy, but I loved her, and honestly, I deserve that. It's like, yeah, it was lovely. It's like, yeah. Oh, sorry, it's this way. Yeah, it was like crazy. And other people, and that's what's so unique about it to me is that other people, if they had that childhood where they became a Geovishot's pet, where they were handed a sword when they were 3, where like all this like where their parent was like freaking going off doing vigilante missions and all this stuff. It could be a very different description, right? It could be a description of maybe even possibly like I had a horrible childhood, right? But for Clorinde, it was like, no, this is like what I knew. This was my life, and it made me the person that I am today in a lot of ways. But there's still clear to me that there is a lot of pain that's still there, and it's a pain that comes from uncertainty. While she knows for herself, like, okay, my master would not just leave without a reason, I'm sure there is stuff in her heart that is like, well, I'd still like to, oh, is this a domain again? I'd still like to know what happened. You know what I mean? There is that uncertainty too. Where are we now? Oh, the atmosphere is amazing. And I feel like with...
Looks like everyone's here. Now, before we begin, why don't we finish where we left off yesterday? There was an important decision to be made, yes? I'll pour everyone a cup of tea.
The ambiance here is fantastic. It's so cool with the dungeons in the background and everything as well. It's so cool in the stone. Yeah, just to finish that thought, I think that Clorinde's story is, to put a bow on it, Clorinde's story is so unique to her because in other people's cases, they would see this as like a very, very bad childhood. Clorinde clearly sees it as something that she is almost appreciative of, that it turned into the person that she is today. But also it's interesting as well how she has this certainty about her mother, quote unquote mother, while also there's probably this feeling of I wish that I could probably see her again. And also it's also interesting that like the past is such a big thing for Clorinde and Navia, and bringing up the past isn't always the best thing to do, but I'm glad that they have mended that problem that they had with each other in their past, right? I definitely think it's awesome. And it's awesome that they had Farina bring that up too.
Is that really the most important part though, Clorinde? Paimon's more concerned about our current surroundings.
If this was safe, I would kill to play D&D in a place like this.
Heavy walls, cold railings, dim lights. This is obviously supposed to be a prison.
Like I'd kill to play D&D in here.
I admire the work put into the set. Still, it's obvious the scriptwriter has never paid a visit to the fortress of Meripede.
So the set is going to be a part of the script?
Unfortunately, that is something I can neither confirm nor deny.
Anyone think Clorinde's smile is starting to look kinda scary?
I adore it. She is a great DM.
Well, whatever
GM.
happens, we'll just have to push on. But first, we should really figure out what to do with this treasure. If we're worried about arousing suspicion because of our identity, why don't we give ourselves a different name, just like Clorinde's master did?
Yeah, it might be better to keep a low profile. As long as we're helping people, it doesn't matter who we are or what we're called.
Staring at me won't get you anywhere. Or did you want some more tea?
I would take tea.
Paimon's good. Thanks. Why aren't you saying anything, Navia? Wait, what's that next to you?
Oh, this is the short sword Clorinde mentioned last night. I found it.
Wait, what? The actual short sword?
Huh. I'm surprised you managed to track it down after all this time.
It's like a dagger itself. Yeah, I suppose it is like a short sword. It's too big to be a dagger.
I'm sure to take good care of it, considering the circumstances in which you gave it to me. Of course I had to keep it safe. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right. I was just thinking about all the potential ways for us to break out of prison. We could dig a tunnel, or try to bribe the guards.
Break out of prison?
Wait, we haven't been thrown into prison yet.
That's the
have
thing,
we?
yeah. What's happening?
Well, it's only a matter of time. It pays
Okay.
to be prepared. Just like how you should always have an umbrella on hand, even when it's sunny.
Sorry, Navia, that is incredible. Especially since you always carry an umbrella with you.
Alright, Paimon's made up her mind. Let's just give the treasure away.
Okay, if Paimon says it, we're going with that.
Paimon may have wanted to keep it, but if it's going to land us in prison somehow, Paimon will be too upset to enjoy her snacks.
Yeah, turns out Paimon cares more about snacks than treasure. True.
So,
True.
you've reached an agreement?
Good priorities.
All right then. We can continue with the story.
This isn't the tea I drink usually. I think it's more of a fruit tea they're drinking maybe. I drink breakfast tea. And that is like brands like I say Lions or Brennan's. If I'm ever, when I'm rarely abroad, it'll be Lipton's or PG Tips or something like that. Is usually like the breakfast tea that I enjoy the most.
Oh, and we'll collect all the scattered pieces of treasure on the ground as well.
All right. You collect the treasure
Oh my god,
and make your way back to the
it just
capital
hit
with your
me
bag of
again.
loot in
As if
hand.
we only saw it for the first time. This has been beautiful. This has been so well done. Like all of it.
The city is still shrouded in a gloomy,
Oh my God.
oppressive atmosphere. But your spirits are surprisingly high.
You know what's interesting? I think this is Mondstadt because we as players see this as Mondstadt. Right? Because when you describe a town with like with stone walls and like all this stuff, like, and when we first came to Mondstadt, it was a very gloomy kind of, had an impressive atmosphere until we, helped with Dvalin. So I wonder if like that's the reason why we see Mondstadt when we look at this.
In places where sunlight struggles to reach, you generously share your wealth with the
Oh,
children,
look at this.
the elderly, and the poor in urgent need of help.
So natural to these guys. But as well also like with the scratch marks on the wall, that's also because we saw the scratch marks in our story, in our journey. I wonder if that's the reason why we also saw the scratch marks there.
Thank you, kind soul. The elderly woman's look of gratitude follows
No
you
problem,
as
hunchbacked
you
old
walk
lady.
away, her eyes never leaving your back until you move entirely out of sight. However, there's still quite a bit of Mora remaining. It appears you haven't made much progress.
She's probably trying to tell us to speed this up. We need to hurry up so we can address the sorcerer problem.
Yep, a very subtle way of a DM kind of being like, hey, move forward without being mean.
Should we go find that man again at the square? He seemed like a pretty responsible guy. I'm sure he knows the people here far better than us.
These frickin' sprites, man. These character sprites.
Oh, good idea.
Just as you start to make way to the square, intent on finding the man again, there's a voice.
Oh my god. And we can't see her check complete. Oh, the soldiers.
Please wait, distinguished guests.
And we're still getting the voices as well.
Several strange guards suddenly call out to you. They run forward to meet you and proceed to politely pay their respects.
Greetings, gentlemen. Are we being invited for afternoon tea?
Surely you jest, my lady. That would not be our place. It is His Excellency the King,
king?
who requests to meet with you. Please come with us.
I wonder what the king's gonna look like in this interpretation of this world. Yeah, this is just heaven. This is just heaven.
Do you think this could be a trap?
Lindy thinking like with his brain, me just thinking about meeting the king.
Well, we have to investigate the court at some point, right? Meeting the king himself would be a fantastic opportunity to do that.
I say we go for it. If something happens, we'll just turn the whole place upside
Yeah,
down.
Navia.
That sounds a little intense.
I'm with Navi though. I'm with Navi. Look at Paimon. The spray.
After a quick discussion, you nod to the guards and agree to follow. They lead you all the way to the audience hall of the palace. Gilded tables line both sides of the hall. The space itself is adorned with all manner of expensive antiques, glass shelves, and silver candlesticks. The items appear quite ordinary in size and dimension, yet their presence somehow makes the emptiness of the hall feel even more surreal and ominous.
Wow, like by comparison.
Wow, it's so luxurious.
The elderly king, clad in a magnificent robe, sits upon the deep crimson throne before you. He wears above his head a majestic crown, with a gemstone the size of a bird's egg set right at the very front. As you observe it, you see a complex pattern of light reflect off its surface. They're here, your majesty.
And Clorinde just gonna play the king.
A man dressed in dark clothes, likely a minister, shields his mouth with his hands and bends down to whisper a few words to the king. After a moment, he lowers his hands and stands back up. His gaze shifts to fixate on your group, but he does not move from his place at the king's side.
The king does not appear entirely aware of his surroundings. The man by his side, though. We should keep a close eye on him.
The king remains still and says nothing. The minister is the one who speaks. Esteemed guests, allow me to thank you for coming to our faraway kingdom. Unfortunately, His Majesty the King finds himself quite exhausted from work. So please allow me, his Prime Minister, to welcome you.
Is this gonna be a situation where the king just doesn't, like you said, it doesn't even know what's going on, and they're all like kind of like being very much manipulating him? Prime Minister terrifies me in any sense.
I've heard tell that your group, the Marechaussee Hunters, used your exceptional ability with the sword to repel the monsters near the capital. Such a great deed deserves to be rewarded.
Yeah, and this voice Clorinde is doing too.
However, seeing that I was not fortunate enough to observe such a feat with my own eyes, you'll forgive me for seeking to verify the truth.
Oh my
by
God.
speaking to you myself.
And Clorinde's been around fancy people her whole goddamn life, so she's like definitely like bringing up like the fanciness of like, well, not her whole damn life, but like a lot of her life, a lot of her adult life for sure. So she's definitely like calling upon like her past, or like I guess her life, to be able to like put it on this voice.
Well, we've got nothing to hide. You brought us here to talk, right? So we'll just explain what happened.
We're probably getting thrown in prison, aren't we? We're probably getting put in prison.
Golem's blades were so powerful, they could cut down trees in a single swipe. It took a lot of effort to defeat them, even for trained swordsmen like us. Well, that was enough details, right? Believe us
You
now?
have to believe Paimon. Come on. The sweetest character in the history of the world.
Your account does indeed match those of the survivors. Since you were the ones who defeated the monsters, that must mean you are also in possession of the treasure they
No,
stole.
we're not actually. We never heard no treasure.
Well, we did take the
No, Paimon!
treasure, but
How did he know about the treasure?
Was it from the kings?
Then I must ask that you return it at once. It belongs to the
We
kingdom.
did. We did return it to the kingdom. All the people.
Wait, but didn't you just say that our great deed deserved a reward? Shouldn't the treasure be considered a part of that?
Yes, that was indeed what I said. But you seem to have forgotten a very important distinction.
Which is...
Only that which is freely given by the king can be considered a reward. Taking the rightful wealth of a kingdom without said permission, on the other hand, is a crime.
But that's completely unreasonable.
Yeah, it seems that like they brought us here mostly to talk about the treasure, and it's very clear because and Clorinde's doing a very good job of this. Like the character changed like from talking about the good deed we did to the treasure itself, because they kind of knew that the treasure was taken.
yeah, that makes no sense. If it weren't for us, the treasure would still be buried underground
That's true.
somewhere.
That's very true.
Maybe so, yet the fact remains. You tried to dispose of the treasure without reporting it to the court and without receiving permission.
I don't recognize your authority, Prime Minister, at all. No, Paimon, don't do an He's wrong. I don't recognize your authority.
What?
You have no rule over
answer?
me.
Surely you're not insinuating that you, a group of legendary
Oh, here we go.
Marechaussee hunters,
Here we go.
sought to take the treasure for yourselves?
Yeah, we are. And next we're taking that jacket and we're going to sell it. We're going to sell that jacket that's on your back.
Well, what about the king? Is he just gonna let this guy talk for him the
See,
whole town.
Paimon has such great insights about this because Paimon's a people person. Even though like they love arguing with people, Paimon's still a people person.
Clad in his magnificent robe, the king remains seated, with his hands resting on either side of the throne. His posture is rigid and unmoving. He stares forward with an empty look in his eyes, completely unmoved by the events before
Is that
him.
through a gate as well, like a gated place?
From the look of things, could the Prime Minister be the evil sorcerer? Or could both the king and
Very
the Prime
smart from
Minister have
Farina.
fallen under the evil sorcerer's control?
Using your noggin.
I would like to observe the number of guards stationed in the hall.
The guards in the palace appear fully armed, their expressions solemn. Sensing the tense atmosphere in the room, they stand at the ready, each with a hand placed upon the hilt of their sword, as if prepared to draw their weapons and surround you at a
I think that
moment's
this is,
notice.
and look at me getting into the Clorinde story. I think that they planned this from the start. Like they knew this was going to come to this, and they had like they just wanted to play roundabout with us so they could have a reason to do this without like unsettling people. Because a lot of times, like people just think that kings can do what the kings were able to do what they wanted, when in reality they could, but they had to come up with a reason for that. And even if it was a flimsy reason, you could then do it, right? So you know the best example you could say is like say if I wanted to take someone's home from them, you couldn't just take someone's home because eventually that's going to lead to unrest. It's going to lead to like people going against you, which the king actually needs people to be on their side. But if instead, if I wanted to take this treasure or put these people in prison, like as the sorcerer, for example, the only thing you need as in that is to be like, hey, they took the treasure, they stole the treasure. But the only thing that's going to be different here, I think, is that the people of the town are still going to be thoroughly on the side of the people that gave them that treasure, unless there's something really horrible they make up about them.
Well, there goes my plan to turn the whole place upside down, I guess.
It appears we've been visited by nothing more than a group of ill-intentioned imposters.
Oh my god, buddy.
What a pity. Guards, take them away and
And
throw
now if you
them
knew
in
this
the
was gonna
gardens.
happen.
Before I decide your fate, however, I must first determine whether you have any accomplices outside the court.
Can't we try to slip away? Or maybe start some kind of
Paimon, honestly, Paimon, respect. A lot of
But
respect.
if we try to fight the guards right now...
Let's go for it.
Don't worry. At least we figured out who's behind all this. Let's just play it by ear.
Oh my god.
If you're scared, Paimon, just hold my
That's
hand.
so sweet. You can have my hand too.
Aw, thank you, guys.
Can you imagine like Navi on one side and me on the other side, and we're holding Paimon's hand? So sweet.
You allow yourself to be led away by guards surrounding you on both sides. It's only when you begin to feel drops of water falling from the dungeon ceiling and smell the stench of death and
Ooh.
decay all around you
Sick
that you finally
description.
realize you've stepped into a completely different world.
Yeah, very cool description there.
Stay here and don't try anything funny.
Funny is literally what we do, buddy. You're in for a big awakening.
The guards lock the cell door and leave without looking back.
Wait, sir!
Your voice echoes through the dark hall, but the only response you receive is the sound of water dripping from the ceiling.
Clorinde is doing such a fantastic job with this.
No. What should we do now?
Carve out a new path of fate with our own two hands, of course. I draw my weapon.
You reach toward your waist, but find nothing there. You now recall that your weapons were confiscated before the guards locked you in the cell. The bag of treasure along with them.
What about that knife I hid in my boot?
When did you hide it in there?
Oh my god. Navia is about to cause a lot of problems here.
When I was thinking about digging a tunnel.
Rejected. You failed to inform the GM
Yeah.
of this course
Oh
of action.
no.
Moreover, the guards would have conducted a thorough search before throwing you in prison.
Honestly, fair.
And the keys to the cell aren't anywhere to be
But still,
seen?
I love that they add those little details about playing a DM game like this, where it's actually like not always, you know, you're not always going to get away with the stuff you want to get away with.
Correct. You don't even feel a lock hole on the cell door.
Oh, well, there goes all our plans.
But Clorinde, again, she's a good DM. She's not doing this just so we can fail. she wants us to find a way to succeed, but just in the realm of possibility within her world.
Huh? Why are you the one saying indeed?
Because that statement holds true for me as well.
What?
This is where the script ends.
Wait. So, it's not... Because again, a good DM was doing what she was doing, which is like, yes, setting up the rules of the game, but also then you're going to set up a way for them to succeed. And she is a good DM. But actually what she's doing here is that she didn't even know what to do next. The script is done.
What? But that's a terrible ending!
It's literally done.
Generally speaking, this should be the point where the scriptwriter gives the players some kind of hint.
100%. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Kind of code for how to move forward.
I mean, maybe they just really wanted us to be immersed in the feeling of being in prison. Like, they'll only show us the way out once we've grown truly and utterly desperate?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That is a possibility.
If only there were desserts and tea in real prison. Oh, wait, guess it's kind of how the Fortress of Meripede works if you're lucky.
Yeah, true. True, if you have enough stuff.
Oh,
And you get the good orangey.
Navia, the short sword you had with you earlier. I took a closer look, and the craftsmanship doesn't appear to resemble anything from this era. If I remember correctly, that style was last in vogue several hundred years ago.
Wait, Clorinde said
That's pretty
that
interesting.
sword used to belong to her master, right? Does that mean her
Wait.
master has been alive that long?
I was thinking maybe that she got it like from another, but like are they saying she actually
I doubt it.
Yeah.
The way she went about things often made her seem childish more than anything. I'd say the sword was most
Yeah.
likely an heirloom passed down over time.
Something that you would get, as you would go along.
Hang on. A precious heirloom passed down to you by your master. And you gave it to me just like that? You weren't worried I might lose it?
Perfect voice acting from Navi's voice actor again.
Master left many things to me when she disappeared. There was the sword, an old key, and a good amount of junk she probably just didn't want to take with her. I gave you the sword back then because I didn't want our friendship to end.
Oh my god.
Wait, when did this happen exactly?
Is that... Yeah, when exactly did this
After
happen?
the duel between Mr. Callis and myself.
It's like a connection. It's like, oh my god. Oh my
Before that,
god.
Clorinde would have meals with us and even stay over at the Spina some days. She was on great terms with Papa as well.
Wait, I'm gonna wait till they describe what it is, because I don't want to just presume what it is, but that's such a beautiful sentiment if it's what I think it is, or even like in general.
After the duel, though, there was a period of time where we simply didn't know how to
Yes.
face each other. She entrusted this sword to me and never came back.
What I'm thinking is it's kind of like the way that if you give someone something, it's like this like you give someone something to be like, hey, she gave her the sword and was like, take this, I'll be back for this, right? Or this is connected, you still have a part of me with you, this isn't the end, right? Final Fantasy 12 is like one of my favorite moments in that game is when Balthier hands Penelo his handkerchief and goes, hold on to this just until I'm back, right? And it's like such a beautiful moment. That's not the exact words, but I'm trying to avoid spoilers for people, but it's such a beautiful moment because again, it's a sentiment that's like old as time. Keep this locket, keep this handkerchief, keep this, and remember me by it. We will see each other again. It's actually very beautiful.
We were both sad.
If that's what it is.
And conflicted. And totally overthinking everything as a result.
That makes perfect sense that you would be.
Whenever I looked at this sword, I couldn't help but wonder. If Miss Petronia had never introduced us to each other at that picnic, maybe part of the sadness I was feeling could have been avoided.
And you would, oh my god, and you were actually feeling that way?
Back then, it felt like I hadn't just lost a father, but a close friend as
Of course, yeah. Like, your whole life turned upside down
No
in all
one can
aspects.
change the past. The most important thing is that you two found your way back to each other and can enjoy
Yes.
things like this together.
Yes.
well. Yep, you're right.
I'm sorry, you two. I didn't mean to bring up any sad memories.
Think nothing of it. No one here is at fault.
And I suppose as well, they did introduce the dagger and the story of the dagger back into it as well. So, like, Farina can't, she wouldn't have been able to know that it was going to be this upsetting of a story for them, Impossible to know. Plop? Plop? Someone came in the door? Oh no, it was a plop. Because I was wondering why they said plop, because that's never like the sound they make when they open a door in this game. Is it the next part of the script?
Oh, looks like the next part of our script is here.
Perfect timing. The situation was really starting to get desperate. And not just because of the prison thing.
All right, yeah. Well, because of everything, yeah.
From Clarenne's face, I really can't tell if it's good news or bad news.
It speaks to our professionals as a senior GM. Maintaining a poker face makes it a true skill, for sure.
Water continues to drip from the ceiling. In this lightless dungeon, you lack a reliable way to tell how much time has passed.
As soon as Clorinde starts speaking, the ambience changes again, the immersion changes.
Eventually, you get used to the unpleasant odor of straw, mold, and rust, and find yourselves alternating between fits of drowsiness and despair. Suddenly, you hear footsteps outside the door.
Wait.
Heads up, everyone. Someone's coming.
Is it the guy that we tried to heal
Get
earlier?
close, everyone.
No, it's a different person.
Keep your
Okay.
voice down.
Oh my god. It's interesting that like the story, look at the tables of all the tea and the cards and stuff. I guess, man, that's heaven. D&D, tea, and like cakes and food and stuff like that. Like that just sounds like heaven. But it's interesting that after they came to like that conclusion, like they're talking more about their past with each other. That's when the changes happened. It's very interesting. That's the way things are going, right?
Who are you?
I work as a guard in these dungeons, but my true identity is the same as your own. I'm also a Marashose.
Oh, okay, okay.
Shh. I've already sent away the other guards, but if we make too much noise...
I understand, but how can we be sure we can trust you?
The king has issued a formal decree. In light of the irrefutable proof of your crime, you're to be executed before tomorrow's sunrise. If you want to escape, it has to be now.
Executed? We barely did anything!
Monsters appearing at the same location as the treasure. Could this entire thing have been a trap?
Like to get us like locked up. They just needed a reason, maybe.
There will be time for speculation once we're out of here. As for my identity, I have no way to prove that to you just yet. Infiltrating the capital was difficult, and finding a chance to speak with you has taken a lot out of me. I could go on, but I think we can all agree that now is not the time for details.
Fair enough. Well, it doesn't look like we have any other choice. Yeah, 100%.
Our weapons anywhere, sir?
Sorry about that. There was a garbage truck outside. I think when I say like, you know, because sometimes people are like, there's a few cuts in this video. What's this cut and that cut? And it's like I think people sometimes don't. When I say the way where the place I live is noisy, they don't believe. Not that they don't believe me. They're probably like, how noisy could it be? You know, in their heads maybe. And I just want to make it clear, like the other day, someone was like, I literally heard like a car alarm going off near you. Someone one time was like, I heard an ambulance siren. And like someone one time, yeah, was like, I heard the garbage truck. Or what's that slam there? There was like, it's a very noisy area. It is.
Don't worry, I brought them with me. They're just behind the door. Still, these weapons alone won't be enough to defeat the true enemy behind the scenes.
The true enemy.
His faction
The Prime Minister?
is too powerful. The guards are all under his control, and he's even stationed a number of golems in various rooms throughout the palace.
So he's controlling the golems?
To defeat him, you must find a secret vault. It is said that within that vault, the Marashose hunters of the past left behind a treasure with the power to defeat the sorcerer.
You're not coming with us?
No, I'll remain in the dungeons to deal with the guards. I'll try my best to distract them so they don't go after you. As long as my identity is not revealed, I'll be able to aid you when the final battle comes.
Let's go.
In that case, please stay safe.
Thank you for your concern. I will do my utmost. As for the location of the vault, here, this map should lead you there.
Where is... Oh, we can find that easily. Yeah. Easily find that.
Got it.
All right, once I open the door, remember to stick close and refrain from making any noise. I'll lead you out of here.
That's
as
cool.
quickly
We're
as
actually doing like an
possible.
actual prison break.
You now have the chance to restore the honor and legacy of the Mara Shosei Hunters. So please, get out there and reclaim what's ours.
But it's interesting, the guard doesn't have the same... Wait. The guard doesn't have a Clorinde voice.
And be sure to exercise caution.
Maybe that is
With the
still
help of the
Clorinde
guard,
doing a
you
voice, but it says it's
successfully
not played by
escaped the
Clorinde.
dungeons. Your sense of despair and
Interesting.
anxiety both seem to fade as you continue your quest.
Right? Rather interesting.
We didn't get to use our skills at all while we were in prison. Who knows when we're gonna get the chance to use that cool summon spell?
Yeah, I suppose.
That is a pity, but we can only continue to move forward.
Yeah, look how stunning this is as well. Didn't expect you guys to come out here as well either. I'm not quite sure the best way to use this team, to be honest. But I know we can do this, which is pretty freaking cool. It's pretty sick. Yeah, but we're not gonna get. Maybe we won't get. Maybe we'll fight a boss or something like that as well. But yeah, I wonder if there's a reason why I didn't say played by Clorinde there. Is there like a specific reason, or maybe like it's a lot more serious than we thought? We could try and fight this guy actually for a second there, but no, let's go. We're gonna get a chance to fight someone soon. So it's around here, which is just over here.
Time to act.
Around here? Here.
Body and mind.
Yes. It looked very suspicious from the second I saw it.
On the map.
I'm so glad we get to see the sprites again.
This bit of rock certainly looks suspicious.
Well, I'd say an investigation's in order then. Plus, if all else fails, we can just blow it up.
I mean, that is true. You can, like, in D&D, you can, if you fail an investigation of, like, a wall or something, or a bookcase, you can just literally blow it up if you have a bomb. And that succeeds, you know? It's one of the cool things about D&D.
Wow, you really meant that.
Yep.
Before you lies a serene stretch of open water, its surface shimmering a brilliant shade of sapphire blue.
Well, guess this means it's time for a swim.
Yeah. We'll go for it, though. We're so close to the edge of, like, the map here, right? It's so interesting how close we are. We should be swimming as Lynette in this, right? Special power Lynette. I've been so enamored by this entire story. It's been so unique, so fun to go through all these stories. Like go through the story of Clorinde's GM story, I suppose, as well. You could say in this sense, it's been more than fun. You okay?
What's the matter?
It's nothing.
Maybe the character that we were talking to there, the guy who was talking to us there is a part of the game. Maybe he's like, the guy who was talking to us is actually like someone who works for the game company.
As you step into the
Maybe?
cave, you find yourself in an eerily quiet space. Before you lies a narrow passageway that appears to trail off endlessly into the distance.
So she was a bit taken back by this place, though. She was looking around this place kind of like, what is this place, I suppose? Whoa. Is that an actual...
Wow, this must be where the treasure is hidden.
The music here is glorious as well.
This door is blocking our way in. It almost looks like it's been here for quite some time. I've got to hand it to the tabletop troupe. They really went all out with the props.
Huh. What have we got down here? A kind of mechanism connected to the door? Ah, it looks like we might have to arrange it into a certain pattern.
We'll try our best to do that.
A pattern on a stone door. That's something Master mentioned before.
Is something wrong, Clorinde?
After a long, difficult journey...
Wait, so this is something our
you
master
finally
talked
arrive
about.
at the location indicated by your map. It appears to be an ancient site of some sort, where treasure likely awaits.
So she recognized the description? When she's reading it, she's recognizing the description from what her master
Your
described.
surroundings are exceedingly quiet
That's
and serene,
super interesting.
as if the secret that slumbers here has never once been disturbed. If you listen closely, you can almost convince yourself you can hear the sound of its calm, gentle breathing.
That description description makes Paimon feel kinda bad for disturbing this place.
We're doing this for the sake of the people.
Yep.
To free them from the evil sorcerer. I say it's time for this treasure to once again see the light of day.
Great performance there, Linny.
Linny's right. We need to keep going. The future of the kingdom depends on it.
I love how everyone's getting into it, you know?
The next part of the story requires us to solve the puzzle, right? Let's start exploring the area.
Yes, that should be fine.
She's very nervous about this.
Something feels off about all this. Guess I'll just have to improvise.
Yeah, that's and for Clorinde to be stopped in her tracks as well, that's obviously something very, very personal, it seems, as well. Wait for companions to progress. Split up and look for clues. Whoa, so and yeah, that's so interesting seeing them all go off and do their own thing. Install a hydro crystal core over here. Well, we can't do it just yet. Oh, we need a condensed core, so we need to find the other cores as well. Yeah, here we go. So there should be one.
Found something.
Yeah? Oh, well done.
Found something here too.
I love how they're all working together. That's so freaking neat. I'm genuinely so impressed by this. And now we have to wait for these guys to put their stuff in there as well. I think it's so fun. Where's Farina?
Same here.
Yes. Such a unique way of doing it. They haven't really ever done something like this. Do you have to collect them again? Yes. Oh, here we go. And I will separate them out there as well. And then we go here like this. And it'll expand out. Very simple puzzle, but like I feel like it's not about the puzzle. It was more about like seeing the companionship and everyone working together to figure this out. Is it doing something else here now? Interesting.
It worked.
Yay! And everyone's like clapping this story, by the way.
Something just appeared. Some kind of new mechanism, maybe?
It's like it's a bag. It's like a burlap
By
bag.
solving the puzzles, you prove yourselves worthy of inheriting the secrets of the past.
Clorinde she's telling the story while also focusing on the story as well, rather than because she used to look at us when she's talking, but she's looking directly at the door this
At
time.
the end of each puzzle, you're rewarded with
With?
a key.
Oh my god.
Oh, it must be the key to the big door.
Yeah, she's getting taken back by this.
This is one of the Marechaussee Hunter keys that are passed down from generation to generation. It looks just like the one Master passed down to me. It is said that 4 keys in total are required to form the final, complete key. And it seems like we just collected 3 of them. That must mean...
Sorry that I'm just sitting here because I'm thinking how amazing it is how they are incorporating somehow the story of Clorinde's master into her own DM campaign or GM campaign or you know what I mean? That's so impressive to me, but I'm still wondering how this is all intertwined together.
Huh? What's wrong?
Did she notice something?
You hear a few strange noises. Suddenly, all the torches in the ruin go out at once.
But she was... What? She was reading this and she got shocked by it herself?
What's going on? Did we fall into another trap?
For the sake of immersion, please close your eyes, everyone. Without the torches,
Very
the space
cool.
is now completely dark.
Honestly, very cool.
And you cannot see anything.
Do we have to do that too? I won't do that. I think that'd be terrible for a Let's Play.
Still see a little bit over here.
Paimon, don't break people's immersion.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Paimon has been that player. Oh, poor Paimon. She's been that player that has been like, I don't know if this is gonna work, guys. And you're like, we're trying to get into it, Paimon.
Suddenly, you hear the sound of footsteps pierce through the darkness.
Great descriptor, but who is it?
There's someone else here. Oh, this is so unsettling. I can't see anything.
I adore the way they've done this, how they've closed their eyes instead of just like making it dark for us.
I've been discovered then.
It's the person who broke us out.
Wait, that voice, it's...
You recognize the voice as belonging to the guard who led you to this place. It appears he now covets the treasure for himself and has come to stake
And he has like a
his
duelist
claim.
outfit on as well.
Oh, so this is just part of the script. Then I can probably relax. Well, if we can't see anything, that means we can't fight to the fullest of our abilities.
This is
Should we retreat for now?
kind of worrying me.
Judging by the way he's holding his sword, he must be a real...
Yeah, so he is an
Marshal
actor. He's an but like not an actor.
This isn't part of the script.
So, but since it's not part of the script, oh my freaking god. Oh my freaking god. Yeah, because that's what I was getting, because it's not played by Clorinde, and now there's another character here like that, like wasn't voiced by Clorinde. It makes perfect sense now. This guy is like on the outside.
Retreat? That's not the hunter way. If it's dark for us, then it's dark for him.
No,
We choose to fight.
no. It's, as we know, it's not actually dark, right? And I think like I was a bit confused on how everything was working out, like what was real and what wasn't real. But I think I totally get it now that like, by the way, this fist bump, I want to fist bump the screen. It's very clear that like Clorinde is trying to play on as much as she can. And she's trying to just go with it, improvise. But it's not part of the script. So we have to be a little bit cautious about this. I wonder how Clorinde's going to take this.
Your choice is noted. Please keep your eyes closed until I tell you the torches have been relit. This battle will be in the dark.
We're going to fight with our eyes
You
closed?
got it.
Well then, let us begin.
But not Clorinde. Clorinde's going to fight the... Oh my gosh, she just said keep your eyes closed. She's like, I'm keeping this immersion going no matter what. She said, my friends are going to play the best
Hit him
game.
with my sword.
Your strike is successful.
Is he still standing? Goodness.
Such a cool
he
move.
has a lot of HP.
Like Clorinde said, I'm keeping
Is
this
it over?
immersion.
Can we open our eyes
I'm
now?
keeping this immersion no matter what.
The enemy is strong and relentless, but the battle is nearing its end. The torches have not been relit.
She is the best DM in history.
What about now?
Final strike.
Oh, buddy, you better run. You better run. Dude, like, you were... I don't know if he knew what he was up against.
Well, did we get him?
I already had respect for Clorinde, but this is just, like, amazing. The fact that she is keeping this immersion going for everyone with their eyes closed, while also at the same time just beating the hell out of this guy. Why isn't she answering?
Clorinde?
Yeah, no, and then I think they're starting to get a little bit worried, like we would. Like you would.
Warm fire flickers across the walls once more. Your vision is now clear. In an impressive display of courage, the four of you successfully defeat
Incredible.
the uninvited guest.
Incredible.
That look in his eyes. It's like he became an entirely different person as soon as I defeated
His
him.
eye color is very interesting too.
Huh? Mr. Florian? Oh, wait.
Oh, from the
This must be
start.
role-playing.
The guy from the start,
I
yeah.
should stay in character. Speak your name, guard. Why did you lead us here just to betray us? Is this treasure really more important to you than bringing peace to the kingdom?
What kingdom? What peace? Those were nothing but lies. I, Florian, am a true Marashose hunter, descended from hunters of ages past.
So this is... So he believes whatever... If there's a real treasure here, he's after it? So is there a real treasure here? Which would make sense then with the keys that were actually passed down to Clorinde. This is so interesting to me, the way they're doing this.
So he's also using his real name. Or, wait, was that the name of his character from the very beginning?
It's starting to get blurred, right? And we love the idea of blurring stories in Genshin, but it's definitely getting blurred.
Then I'm even more confused. If you truly are a Marashose hunter, shouldn't
This
you
is
wanna
so
help
cool.
us, just like
This
you
is
said
so
before?
cool, the blurring of the
Shouldn't we
story
fight
versus
together
reality
for the
they're
sake
doing.
of the people?
Sorry for interrupting you, Linny. I'm just so enamored by what they're doing here.
What do you know? In this day and age, there's no glory to be had as a Marashose hunter.
What's that supposed to mean?
My skills were passed down to me by my father. We lived a life of obscurity in the remote wilderness. Still, he devoted everything he had to being a Marashose hunter. And what did he get in return? A life of poverty and pain. In a world that forgot all about him. When he died, not a single person came to mourn his passing.
Yeah, this is getting way too real, right?
The Marashose hunters were the ones who saved this city. We're heroes. We deserved more recognition and respect than this.
It seems like it is like a forgotten, like while we remember aspects of it, like obviously the first ever time we saw this was to do with the artifacts and stuff, I guess, it seems like it is a forgotten group, right?
Is he talking about how no one in the capital seems to remember the hunters and their legacy? I didn't expect the script to contain this level of social criticism.
Farina is like, I think maybe because she's probably one of the newer players, is definitely much easier. She's not improvising as easily, but that's just because she is very much picking up on like how blurred the reality and fiction is right now.
So that's why you want to take the treasure for yourself? You feel like you're owed fame and wealth?
If you already knew where the treasure was located, why didn't you just come down here and take it?
This is so interesting. Like I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Because I still needed the final key.
Well, you have another key as well?
Only a true Marashose hunter is capable of passing through this final door. As someone who sought to hurt others for his own gain, Florian lost that right long ago.
Damn, oh my god.
Okay, but what is this treasure anyway? We've got all the keys, right? So can we just go in and take a look?
You're sure you want to go in?
That is... First of all, again, with everything being blurred, right, between fiction and reality right now, that question being asked by your DM, or GM in this case, terrifying. That question being asked in real life by somebody, equally as terrifying.
We've been talking about it for so long. Of course we want to see what's inside.
I wonder if Clorinde is also asking herself a little bit too.
We've already defeated Florian, right? So he won't try to take it from us anymore.
Oh, yeah, but I think they're, again, it's... I can say the word, like, that it's been blurred a million times over, but, like, obviously we all get it. But, like, I just think it's so interesting how they're doing this.
Pesky brats.
Watch yourself.
She's like, watch yourself. It's like, I'm still trying to keep the immersion going. Like, this is how amazing she is.
Then let's open the door together.
All right. Your choice of action is confirmed.
Holy hell. And Florian's, like, watching these guys still play along with the story even after he's interfered with it. Like, Clorinde is powerful, terrifying, everything in between. Without any notice, she takes out her own key and joins it with the others to form the final required shape. Oh, wow. I'm so interested to see what's in here now.
The door to the treasure, sealed and undisturbed for more than 100 years, finally swings open. You hear the shrill wail of the door hinge as it rotates for the
Great
first
descriptions
time
again.
After years
Oh my
of
god.
disuse. Almost like a sleeping giant letting out
What
an
is that?
extended yawn. You get the impression that the secrets buried behind this door might be just as heavy as the sound you just heard.
There's swords again planted into the ground, which shows that people died here, right? But there's also this statue that has the Marashose Hunter symbol, I think, on it. But like this statue itself, I'm not sure exactly what we're looking at.
Let's go in. Paimon wants to see what's inside.
Oh, poor Paimon as well. Like jumping right in front of us too.
Me too.
Oh, this is the best. Yes.
Uncovering
Oh
hidden
my God,
treasure
that's
is
so
the
good.
most exciting part of adventuring. What do we have here? Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. That is so nice seeing the three of them do that. Like again, they're just when I feel like when we always like act differently around different people because that's how people do. You know, you're not that you're changing your personality, but you obviously get influenced by people around you. I love that like Farida, the Traveler, and Paimon are all just so excited to see this. But Navi's noticing something here as well.
Stone
Yeah, this.
tablet and some shabby weapons.
Some of them are the weapons of the Marashose hunters then, right?
You call this a treasure vault? Looks more like an abandoned warehouse.
Very funny, Paimon.
Maybe the troop ran out of budget at the end?
I don't think this is a part of the script anymore. I really don't.
Provided a super immersive experience at the beginning only to drop the ball at the most important part? least fill this place with cardboard Mora or something.
Yeah. And poor Clorinde trying to keep this whole thing going for everybody.
I get it now. Paimon, this is the real Marachose Hunter treasure.
What do you mean? Huh?
This is it? The Marachose Hunter treasure is just a stone slab and some
Oh, the
broken
slab
swords?
itself.
I can't believe it. I refuse to believe it.
You're gonna think Florian's such a good actor. Wait, what?
Whoa, are you
What's
okay?
What happened
The
here?
Marachose hunter before you appears to suffer a serious mental breakdown. He needs to leave the room for a moment to collect himself.
And she's still reading this like a GM.
One of you seems to understand the significance of the treasure already. If the rest of you wish to follow suit, you may remain here in the meantime and explore your surroundings.
She's fantastic. She's so fantastic the way she keeps this going. What the hell? Talk to Florian at a distance. Oh, we're playing as Clorinde now.
What is the treasure supposed to be?
The names on the tablet.
The old and broken weapons.
I love how they're all figuring out together as well. I need to find out what that was. Walter? And the broken bows as well. Talks to him at a distance. It's interesting they mention at a distance as if there's something wrong. Like that power, that stuff that came out of him as well was not natural.
So, how are you doing? Feeling any better?
What just happened?
Do you remember how you got here? Or what happened to your body just now?
His eyes have changed.
Now.
His eyes have changed, yeah.
I brought you here because I wanted to... The explosives in the cave!
The explosives?
You mean these?
Oh, Clorinde found them.
How did you...
I could tell something was off the moment I stepped into this cave.
Yes.
So I kept an eye out. I've already
Oh
dismantled
my
the whole
freaking
thing.
god, she's incredible. That's why she was looking at the ceiling of the cave. That's why she was looking all around.
So the strongest champion duelist in all of Fontaine saved the day once again.
Yeah.
Guess I shouldn't be surprised. It would seem your skills as a Marachose hunter are as sharp as ever.
I'm sorry, that's insane. That's like again, I love how they dropped those little nuggets and we were like, wait, why is she looking at the ceiling? And then we find out why afterwards. So crazy.
I deserve some answers, don't you think? Tell me why you wanted to lure me here.
Because that was it. The script, like, I wonder if they created the full script or just the last part of the script. I wonder. It's interesting to me to, yeah, we're going to find out, I suppose.
Everything you said earlier sounded like the truth. Luckily, your monologue was dramatic enough to convince my friends you were just role-playing.
Yep, and she was able to keep it going. Well, Farina had some sort of, like, idea that it was, not exactly truthful, right?
I don't know. I just always felt like there was something in my heart that didn't belong to me. Something agitated and angry. Who knows? Maybe it was my own anger all along. I could never really tell. The feelings about my father and the other Marachose hunters are real. It just wasn't fair. I was angry, bitter that no one remembered them or praised their accomplishments. I don't know when it started, but at some point, my anger came to completely consume me. At that point, I remembered the legend my father used to tell me. The one about the treasure.
But if the treasure was all you cared about, why plant all those explosives? Wouldn't they just destroy the treasure and bury you along with it?
So he's talking about, like, again, there's this bitterness in him that nobody remembers the legendary Marachose hunters. And this is what drove him to, like, be so upset about this. And she makes a good point here, but...
I can't remember. My head is a mess. It felt like there was this voice telling me to eliminate the hunters.
Jesus, man, that's not good.
It's gone.
Voices in the head is never good.
From your description, I suspect you were dealing with a devorator.
Devorator?
Pope pronounced it differently.
Oh, your master... your father, I mean. Never talked about it? It was a kind of monster that was active several centuries ago.
No, I've heard of it. I'm just not sure why you suddenly... Wait, it can't be. The seal!
The seal?
Yeah, what are you talking about the
My
seal?
family has served as Marashose hunters for many generations. But the title and swordsmanship weren't the only things passed down over our line. There was a seal as well. My father instructed me to always watch over that seal and maintain it regularly. He said it had been passed down over a truly ancient age, and protecting it was our clan's most important duty.
I'm finding this super, super interesting. Because, like, while we were, like, already found the blurring the lines very interesting, now it's also, like, there's someone else who is a descendant of, like, that ideal of the Marashose hunters talking about, like, the past of the Marashose hunters, and it's something that Clorinde can definitely relate to. Obviously, like, Clorinde wasn't directly related to anyone in the Marashose hunters, but her herself, like, you know, as he said, like a true Marashose hunter.
But I neglected that duty after he died. I finally decided to come down and check on it one day, and that's where my memories become fuzzy.
Something definitely did take over him,
Devorator
yeah.
would be a formidable adversary for any mortal being, even ones as capable as the hunters.
It sounds terrifying. It sounds absolutely
If you
terrifying.
lacked the power to completely destroy it, you could easily fall prey to its influence and corruption. In light of this, some Marashose hunters chose to seal the Devorator away, in the hopes that a permanent solution would come with the passage of time.
I heard it has the power to amplify the obsessions and desires in people's hearts, to the point where they overtake you entirely. It would seem I'm not just lacking in skill with a blade, but in mental fortitude as well.
Okay, so that's like his desire to, like, make the Marashose hunters, like, be remembered and to right the wrongs of the disrespect that he feels that they were disrespected of took over
And
completely.
yet, you were able to retrieve 3 of the 4 keys. If I remember correctly,
Oh my god.
each was entrusted to a respected and capable
Yeah,
hunter.
what happened?
How did you manage it?
Did
One of them belonged to my father.
Okay.
The second I stole from a different hunter. And the third was one that I snatched while the
So
person
nobody
was on the way
died.
home from the tavern. I nearly died in that alley.
but nobody died. Okay, nobody died.
I know just how strong you are. It's as clear as day to everyone in Fontaine. I observed you from dusk to dawn, but could never find any opportunity to sneak up on you.
Wow.
I never even saw you drink a single glass of liquor.
Which, like, is, again, horrific that, like, you would even think to, like, put something in her liquor or something like that. But, like, the thing is, like, that is... Yeah, because she's so powerful, he had to concoct this full plan. Did he create did he create the full thing? The full script? Or just the last part of the script, I wonder?
The only way I could think to obtain that last key was to lure you here using your hobby, and then... Oh, I get it now. That monster, it wanted to bury you here alongside the treasure.
So there'd be nothing left of the Marashose hunters?
I won't comment on anything else, but the script was good.
Oh my god. She's even like, oh yeah, that was a good script. It was interesting.
Well, I did pour my heart and soul into it.
But Clorinde knew there was something up. You saw the way Clorinde was interacting with it, like, and Farina, like, had a little bit of suspicions too, in fairness.
The stories my father used to tell me about the glory of the heroic Marashose hunters and how they came to be forgotten.
But as well, Farina, like, having a little bit of suspicion as well makes sense. She's been around for 500 years in this world, you know what I mean? It makes perfect sense.
It's more than just a story.
Huh?
You're proud to be a hunter. You're still holding onto that part of yourself, no matter how small.
Great way of putting it. Really great way of putting
I've
it.
done so many despicable things. I have nothing to be proud of.
I'm just saying, Florian, I've met so many people who have done bad things, who've atoned for the stuff they've done, or are attempting to atone for the things they've done. Alright? Right here, yes, what was about to happen was horrible, but that wasn't you. That wasn't you fully. It was your desires taking over this Devorator.
Then explain the purpose of the evil sorcerer in your story.
So he created everything. The whole script.
Isn't he the true antagonist? The one who sought nothing but his own gain, and used the people as pawns to attain it? In your heart of hearts, he was the one you truly wanted to defeat.
But I've already tainted my sword.
No,
I
come
no
on.
longer have any right to...
Look at this. You have someone like Clorinde before you giving you all of these reasons to keep going and to help out. I take it.
Wake up, Florian. Remember how you introduced yourself earlier?
Yeah.
Do you really think the hunters acted out of a desire for honor and glory? Or to be loved and acknowledged by the people? What did your father teach you about our order?
And that is honestly like so a perfect way of describing it. It's the ideal of like, people don't do all this helpful stuff and help all these people and all this stuff just like for honor and for love. They do it because they want to help people, right? And like, and now she's kind of like, I that can get lost in translation as time goes on because it can be quite frustrating, especially if it's your father and nobody remembers what your amazing father did or what you see as your amazing father did. And like people go on forgetting about these stories while they're talking about everything else. There's so many stories that go around all Tivat, but the Marechaussee hunters are the ones that are forgotten. Looking at himself in the reflection. Who are you, Florian?
You do not wield your sword for yourself, but to protect those you serve. There's nothing special about a blade. It's the intentions of the wielder that matter above all else.
There you go.
Do you still not understand? Even after seeing the treasure for yourself?
Yes.
The contents of that room, they represent the true legacy the hunters
Because it
left
wasn't
behind.
like treasure or gold or some type of reward or something like that.
You're right. I am a Marechaussee hunter. It's time for me to redeem. No, to finally serve the people I vowed to protect.
There we
all
go.
along.
There we go.
I wouldn't be so quick to push aside the need for redemption.
Yes. Wait, did he say... It's time for me to redeem. No, to finally serve the... No, yeah. I just realized he did. He was like, no. She's like, yeah, you should still redeem yourself.
I know. That's a charge I won't bother to defend
Yeah,
myself
like I love the
against.
Clorinde. I do adore the Clorinde said that, where she's just like, hey, look, yes, great, but don't brush past the fact that you did do something wrong. All right, let's not forget about that.
Good. Then, come with me. And help me see the script through to the end.
Like, it's actually quite appreciated, right?
See
That
the
you would
script
even say
through
that.
to the end. But there's no more script left.
It's time to improvise. Time to improvise.
Never finished it, huh?
This is as far as he got because he thought he was going to win here?
No, I mean, I wrote the script with the sole purpose of luring you all here. There was no reason to write beyond this.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Then we'll just have to keep writing it. The evil sorcerer
Oh
still
my
needs to be defeated.
She's so incredible. She is legitimately
You
so
mean
incredible.
The Devorator? Are you saying I have to make up the rest of the script as we go along?
Is that really so hard? You've already written most of it. Surely you can write an ending where the hunters win and justice prevails. I'll be there to help you too.
You aren't afraid your party will fall into danger?
Oh, Florian, you need to understand who we're with. We need to understand who we're with. By the way, Clorinde, like, saying this, I'll be there to help too, like, just shows why she is a perfect, like, Marechaussee hunter. Like, that is, to me, that is, like what she was trying to say. We don't do this for glory. We don't do this for, like, freaking, like for money or for rewards or for the love of the people. We do this to help people, and she's here to help you as well, right? She's gonna be here for you.
I know what my friends are capable of, and they're all quite skilled. Besides, I need their help.
No, seriously, no, they're so powerful, Florian.
Are you going to tell them the truth about all this?
I don't intend to spoil the
We're keeping the immersion going.
Sometimes protecting dreams and fantasies is more important than exposing the truth. Don't you think?
I love this. I love this. The idea of just keeping the, like, she can't, obviously, like, there's, the whole conversation was a conversation with someone, with two sides of the, I guess the two people that would reminisce about the idea of the Marechaussee hunters. On one side, you have Florian, who truly believes, who was upset that they're forgotten about, but took their whole message in the wrong way altogether. And probably out of frustration, it was like, why aren't they remembered? People should be remembering them. But that's not what they wanted in the first place. In this case, with Clorinde, she embodies the idea of what they are, and he's able to see that right in front of him, while also, like, what she says as well, look at the symbol here on the ground too, is so true too. It's like, they're not looking for glory. They're not looking for this vain honor. They're not looking to get money or presence or admiration. They're doing exactly what Clorinde is doing now. Clorinde literally isn't looking for praise as a fighter there. Earlier on, she fought off Florian while still keeping the immersion going. Music is so beautiful. She fought off Florian by herself so she could keep the story going because she cares about helping other people. She doesn't need people to praise her as some warrior or some fighter. She just wants to know at the end of the day, she did some good. And that to me is beautiful. The song is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Stunning. And this is so beautiful that she's keeping this story alive for these guys.
That took a while.
Oh, Florian.
Ahem. My fellow Marashose hunters, please.
He's playing
forgive me,
along
for
already?
I sinned.
Oh my god, no, you have to appreciate it. You have to appreciate it.
Tone it down.
Tone it down a bit.
Sorry.
No, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
After crossing swords with you and witnessing your courage in battle, I've rediscovered my true self and regained my pride as a Marashose hunter.
Get it done, Florian. Get it done.
Oh, do I smell a redemption arc?
And of course, the one who loves, plays and writing and directing, she's like, the first thing she sees is like the inner workings of it. She's like, yes, a redemption arc.
I confess.
Beautiful.
I was brainwashed by the evil sorcerer. He asked me to lure you here so he could bury you in this cave.
That little... Wait, you're saying all of that wasn't you, but the evil sorcerer?
That's the story, yeah, baby, that's it.
That's right. He's adept at manipulating the hearts and minds of the people. I fell under his influence because I did not possess a strong enough sense of will.
Huh. And how are you going to prove that you're a changed man? We're not going to fall for the same trap
Fair.
twice.
Kind of fair. Kind of fair.
To be perfectly honest, I only came to my senses after seeing the treasure. It reminded me of my father's past teachings. The treasure was actually...
The names of all the Marashose hunters from ages past and their weapons.
Oh my, it's not just a battle graveyard. It's literally the weapons they would put down there. They left their weapons here. That is beautiful.
Wait, you already know?
Like that sentiment, what they were figuring out there as well. They're good at this game, and especially Navi who's played this game a lot. But that's such a beautiful sentiment. Like, and not even beautiful. It's like, because I think it's the difference between like it being like dead people's swords in the ground that were killed in battle versus, and maybe there were some of them who did die in battle, but like the idea of it being like this remembrance place for all of them is quite beautiful at the same time. Like it's beautiful and haunting to see someone's weapon like stuck in the ground.
Of course. Don't underestimate
I love
a
this.
veteran role player's exploration skills. Oh, wait. I mean, Marashose hunter Navia's exploration skills.
We just finished reading.
I mean,
through
yeah,
the
a
content
veteran
of the
D&D
Stone
player,
Tablet.
basically. I love that. I love that they use their actual skills as like role players to find out this real information about this real statue.
That tablet recorded the lives of some fascinating people. For example, this Marashose hunter called Est.
Oh. Oh my god. Est, who was a character that we met yesterday or the other day as well. In fact, we met 2 days. Well, we met yesterday in the video you saw yesterday. Who became also a stone golem in the end, right? Or at least their mind was in the mind of a stone golem.
She inherited the responsibilities of the Golden Hunter and passed judgment on many people. But in private, she had a very easygoing personality. Her favorite pastime was singing and
Wow.
dancing with her friends, and she was said to have a beautiful voice.
So the S that we met afterwards then must have been like as you said, was a descendant.
So, she was just like you.
Oh my god.
Oh, you really think so?
Frida, look at loving the compliment. She deserves all the compliments in the world.
Well, when you put it that way, I suppose I also have a few things in common with this Walter.
How is Walter described?
Working as an executioner, he supposedly used a countless number of tricks to confound his enemies in battle. Oh, if only I could have seen the feats of magic he pulled off.
This
back
is why
then.
like House the Heart kids always like are kind of scary at the same time. Like the House to Heart, like it's like yes, he's like, oh, I always pull off tricks as well. Also, he was an executioner. He just like me for real. You know what I mean?
Their lives were all so exciting. You could write so many cool books about their
Yes.
accomplishments. How could they have all been forgotten?
I mean, the people of Remeria, you could write books about every one of them.
Because they chose to be. To hunt monsters that only appear in the shadows, you must also operate in the dark. To be a Marechaussee hunter is to willingly give up on wealth and fame.
Yeah, there it is. And that's why this safe is not filled with treasure. It's filled with the memories of the Marechaussee hunters.
Then this stone tablet must
A
have been
memoriam.
left behind by their companions.
That's right. Few Marechaussee hunters ever revealed their identity to the public. They always protected the city from the shadows. The only time they spoke of their accomplishments would be at night, when they gathered with their fellow hunters in front of the bonfire to share stories of the monsters slain by their
Oh
hand.
my god, and having all the swords in a circle like they would be around a bonfire as well.
So, this tablet was created not so that the hunters would be remembered by the people, but so that they would be remembered by each other.
Because they didn't need to, they didn't want to be remembered by the people.
No
Yeah.
wonder this place was so well hidden.
It's beautiful.
You regard the stone tablet in solemn silence. The names of your comrades etched onto its surface serve as a reminder that you are never truly alone.
Clorinde!
The tablet proves that, although a hunter walks a shrouded path, it is not a solitary
Yes, yes.
one. There will always be those who walk beside you. A fact that remains as true today as in ages long past.
And it just makes me remember how like she gave this the short sword to Navia and probably did feel like she was walking alone for a very, very long time. Right? And now like reminding herself that she does have all these people with her as well.
Their legacies shall continue to be passed down from generation to generation, as everlasting as the stone onto which their names are carved.
Father, you once told me that I should seek out the treasure if I ever became lost. So this is what you wanted me to find.
And he didn't mean lost, and he meant since you were like lost in the weeds, lost in what your life means, lost in what it means to be like a descendant of the Marechaussee hunters. It is literally like finding this will help not just find the treasure, it helps you find yourself and also to find answers to those feelings that you had as well. And all those questions. I've decided to trust you, Florian. Let's trust him.
Thank you, my friend.
Let's go. I should have
You
done
were
an
very
insight
kind.
check though, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I feel like I maybe missed out on opportunity there, but I feel like we're just like at this point. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely missed out on that
implore
chance.
you, everyone. Please give me a chance to make up for all I've done. Allow me to fight alongside you and defeat the evil sorcerer that
And that's
threatens
so
the peace
cool.
and prosperity of everyone in this kingdom.
It's so cool how he, like, when he wrote this story, subconsciously he wrote the sorcerer as what could be the Devorator, and prosperity of all the people in this basement, right, is the kingdom. Like, it's subconsciously writing all this stuff like he wanted to defeat the sorcerer really deep down in his heart.
Well, I say we let you join.
Let's go.
Sounds good to me too. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is what you do to make up for them.
Oh my god, you just joined the most understanding crew in history. I hope you understand this.
I have no objections, but Mr. Florian, do you even know how to defeat the evil sorcerer?
When he took over my mind, I gained some insight into his thoughts. Every time I thought of the treasure, he reacted with a strong sense of fear.
Huh? He's afraid of the treasure? But there's nothing here except some broken weapons in the
Is he
stone
afraid of the
tablet.
idea of the Marechaussee hunters themselves?
What if the secret's hidden inside these weapons?
Oh, possibly.
GM, permission to investigate.
The way she said that as well. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, it's not ours. I always keep forgetting it's us. 19! Navi is so good at this. I know it's luck, but you know what I mean.
At first glance, the weapons appear absolutely ordinary. But as you observe them, you notice a faint energy emanating from within. These blades have slain countless monsters. Though it's been a long time since they were used in battle, their edges remain sharp, as if they're simply waiting for the next worthy hunter to carry on their legacy.
That's... I know it's Clorinde's her writing and her way she phrases things are so amazing, but that is so amazing. The idea that a sword is waiting for someone else to pick it up. Like, look at this writing. Look at this. A faint energy, and then it's like the blades themselves have slightly countless monsters, and they're simply waiting. Like, it's like that energy is literally like alive. Like the sword is alive. Like it's almost like a friend, an extension of yourself.
So basically, take these with us, right?
He goes right for the bow.
I'll take this weapon, since it used to belong to us.
That's so cool.
Maybe it'll find comfort in being held by someone who appreciates the arts.
Hopefully, yeah. And they're actually picking up, and they don't probably even realize it. Well, I think they probably have an inkling of the idea that they're picking up the actual weapons of the Marechaussee hunters.
Good idea. I'll take Mr. Walter's bow then. From one archer magician to another.
You can have my bow. Where's the axe? What are you taking, Navia?
Paimon's gonna pick a cool weapon too.
What do you want, Paimon? Take anything you want.
As you grip your weapons, you can almost feel the will of past hunters
She's so
coursing
good.
through your being. It's a feeling of courage, determination, a silent vow passed down from generation to generation that says, eradicate the monsters, no matter the cost.
No, this is beautiful. This is like, it's just so cool. It's so cool, and seeing like this like, again, like the idea of a sword being like alive, being an extension of someone, but then also picking up somebody else's sword and then being able to feel their courage, their determination, and their vow in you as well. That's just poetic as heck.
Mr. Florian, do you know where to find the evil sorcerer?
I was able to see his surroundings when our minds were connected. I believe he's currently hiding out at the church in the kingdom.
Church in my house?
We must be extremely careful. He's spent so long living among monsters that he's now taken the form of one. He will not be easily defeated.
Then why don't we explore some more and try to find some higher level gear? We don't want to just fight him and lose, right?
We'll beat him.
Oh,
No, yeah, she's like, no.
no. We have to strike now.
Keeping that immersion
He was
going.
greatly weakened when I managed to break out of his control. If we let him rest, he might have time to escape.
I agree with Mr. Florian. We've got to act while we have the advantage. Don't forget, the people of the capital are counting on us.
And this is such a cool perspective. One side knows the real story, the other side has like a little bit of an inkling, but is still playing along with the story as well. And I wonder when we get there, is it going to break? Is the glass going to shatter? We're going to realize exactly what's happening.
Now that we've got a plan, there's no point in waiting. The longer this drags on, the worse it will be for everybody.
Yes, that's what's called...
Taking the initiative.
Yes, that's exactly
We'll do
right.
it, Florian. Florian, you got this. You got this.
You've persuaded Paimon.
Paimon, you're doing really good.
Mr. Florian,
You're doing really good.
please, lead the way.
Of course. Follow me.
He had to set up so many scenes today, and now he has
Okay,
to
so-
tune in for this last part. I really don't envy.
That's
his
good to know.
job.
Farina, I thought Farina might be having like a little bit of an inkling into what's happening. I think Farina still believes that this is like a full-on story. That's fine.
Finally, you decide to slay
And
the evil
Clorinde laughs.
sorcerer and bring peace
Clorinde.
back to the kingdom once and for all. As you walk away, you feel the gaze of the stone tablet at your
So
back,
cool.
as if
Oh
all
my
the hunters of
God.
the past are wishing you success in the battle ahead and awaiting your triumphant return.
It's way too cool. Like, we talked about it before already. The idea of the veil between whereabouts are we going? Oh, all the way over here? The idea of the veil between the truth and the role play, right? How like it's kind of like so thin at this point. We talked about the idea of last time, like in a veil of like between the past and the present. And this game does love the idea of a veil, right? It does love the idea of like mixing past and present with mixing story and real, fantasy and reality. You don't know exactly what's the story and what's the reality anymore. But I love in this case that we're actually seeing a full-on like story between the two of them that like it's being told by Clorinde
Finally, you arrive at the church Florian described.
and Florian, and they know the true story, while the other side is still seeing this as a campaign, but they're still going to the same destination. So cool.
As you approach, an ominous aura surrounds you. You get the sense that your enemy is close at hand.
Especially with these villagers dancing around the place.
How strange. This uneasy feeling.
Yes,
seems
Farina.
so real.
Yes.
How did they manage that?
Now, it is time for the final battle.
Will she ever even? I wonder. Will they
Let's
say?
go.
Like, will she ever say that it's not that it's real? I wonder.
Florian, wait.
What's wrong?
I think you should wait outside. You've already been corrupted by the Devorator once.
Right.
It
Okay.
could easily re-enter your mind and take control of your body.
She's genuinely thinking about this.
I don't think it's a good idea for you to be this close. If it corrupts you again, it's possible you might take on a new form entirely.
That's exactly why I have to go. Why I should be at the very front.
You mean...
Yes. I intend to lure
What?
it into my body.
I don't think that's a good idea.
That's too risky.
Yeah, that sounds
If
terrifying.
things get out of hand, I might have to kill you. Do you understand how dangerous
And Clorinde's not
this is?
joking about this. She will take her duty very seriously if she has to protect the most amount of people. She's not going to joke around about this.
I understand, but if I do this, you'll have a clear and visible target. The Devorator will have a hard time passing up a chance to enter a body it knows how to control.
True. It's
you won't
true.
have to worry about any of your friends being taken over.
But Clorinde knows what she will have to do if this goes wrong.
You're not like me, Miss Clorinde. You're a just and powerful Marechaussee hunter. The monster broke free due to my error. It's only right that I shoulder the responsibility for its destruction. This is something that I have to do. Consider it a
I
duel
respect
to
it.
restore
I respect
my
it so much.
honor. My only request is that you give it your all.
And he did say that you did say to him that not to avoid the redeeming aspect as well. Like, this is a very dangerous thing, putting your life on the line for other people. Quite like a Marechaussee hunter would do.
I understand.
Can I just say as well how amazing Clorinde's... I talked about it before a million times before, but Clorinde's design is so incredible, and her eyes are so pretty.
Then, as a champion duelist, I hereby accept your request for a duel, and extend to you my most sincere regards.
She looks so freaking cool.
Thank you.
The battle is now upon us. Let the Devorator once again tremble under the blade of the Marechaussee hunters.
We're just going there now? We'll let these hilly trolls do their business. They're doing a little dance. They have a little get-together every Saturday, you can tell. Don't want to interrupt them. So we're just going into this house, okay. Wait. We're getting a cutscene? Holy... And it's turning into the church. Full-on immersion. And it went right inside him. Right away. It didn't wait. Oh my god, he's like... Phobos.
So lifelike.
Yeah, no, it is. And Navi went right for it as well. Holy hell, this is a beautiful cutscene. And Linny as well. Yeah, just go for it. Just go for it. This is incredibly sick. I didn't expect it to, like, appear in this form. Throwing the cards as well. Oh my god. Yes, right in the back. Oh, she stood there so cool. She was just like, okay, I'm going to do this out. Oh, but it's still standing. This is so sick.
This foe is not invincible. You hold the treasure.
The weapons.
The power to defeat it.
Oh my
in your
God.
own 2 hands.
This is, come on, Farina.
You mean the names? It's the Marechaussee hunter's name.
Do you have to say them?
How are we supposed to?
This cutscene's so beautifully animated as well.
Paimon, there's still one skill we saved until the very end.
Yeah?
Hunters fight not for fame, but to aid the people whenever they are summoned.
Yes.
Walter the Marechaussee Hunter, master of 1,000 tricks, executioner of the Phantom Hunters. I call for aid.
What? They're becoming the freaking
Est, the Marechaussee hunter.
What?
Inheritor of Cassiodor's will.
inheritor.
Judge of the Shadow Hunters. Answer my call.
They're becoming. Wait, no. I thought they were becoming them. They're bringing them out. Wait, are they?
Petronia,
They are
protector of
What?
justice and order. The
short
hunter
sword.
I respect the most.
That's...
Thank you for saving my
Oh my
the best
god.
one I'll ever know. Please, lend us your strength.
And she looks right as Clorinde as she says this as well. I think she gets it as well. She gets it.
We have come
Oh
to
my
answer your summons.
And she's herself. She's herself in this. This is incredibly sick. Oh my god. This and the music as well. I am clenched. My whole body. And she just took it down. She just took it down.
And so,
No.
monsters
No.
were eradicated, and the sorcerer was defeated.
What am I supposed to do after that? My heart is... I don't even know what to say. My whole body is like chilled. I was like clenching. My arms were like at my side. Like I was like, this is so incredible. Like summoning the will of like all those hunters as well to defeat this. This was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I don't even know what I was saying for most of it. I was like going all over the place.
Peace soon returned to the capital. Those in the court, manipulated by the sorcerer,
Oh my god.
also recognized the errors of their ways.
And then Navia calling upon the name of her master and saying, "Thank you for saving my friend," is so freaking beautiful. Thank you for saving my friend. Looking right at Clorinde as she says it. And that puts all that to bed as well. It puts it all to bed. Because this whole thing, we've been like, oh, should we say anything? Should we bring out the past? That puts it to bed for them. I'm glad. I am glad that you were saved. I'm glad that you're alive, and I'm glad that she found you. With the dagger, the short sword in her hand. Oh my freaking god.
Some remembered the names of the heroes who saved their
Jesus
kingdom,
Christ.
but others simply continued their lives none the wiser.
I am... This is one of the most incredible times ever. So beautiful. The UI, the characters. I know we're not done yet, but like usually when the cutscene happens and all this stuff, usually there's something that's like it's leading to something, right? Or towards the end.
Such is the story of the Marechaussee hunters.
Yes, Clorinde.
They pursue the phantoms in the darkness and exterminate all who pose a threat. They will always protect the city and those within it, even should all memory of their accomplishments be forgotten by the very people they serve.
Yeah.
I am assuming we finally reached the end of the script.
Frida's tired.
Yes, you've reached one of the better endings.
I am gonna... I'm so... I don't even know. I'm like all over the place. That was incredible.
It's a pretty solid story overall. I thought it was just an ordinary adventure at first, but the further we got into it, the more impressed I became with the production and the plot.
You could say that again.
That final battle especially. All the effects were super realistic.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Totally.
Navia understands. Navia gets it. That's why she called upon. Yep. Navia gets it.
Ah, that's a really good point. I never expected
Wait,
the weapons we
I'm
picked
kind of
up
confused on who
all
gets it and who
would have
doesn't.
that
Does
kind
Linny
of
get it?
effect.
Yeah, mine nearly scared the daylights out of me when it started glowing.
Or maybe they're all kind of
like
like...
we got out, but I don't think it ever lit up again.
I think they're all kind of like, wait, what was that?
Oh, we should probably give these
Props.
back, right?
Props.
I'll just leave mine here.
Just like the star. Someone bring that back.
Did you have a good time?
That was incredible.
Of course. Let me know if another script like this comes around.
I'm like... Every week I reaffirm my love for this game.
Sure.
This
no
game
problem.
reaffirms it for me.
Then I'll
Oh
head
my
back
God.
for now. I think I need some time to fully digest everything that just happened.
You could say that again. Look, Florian just on the ground, unconscious.
Once Mr. Florian is awake, please pass on my regards to him. He must be extremely exhausted
God.
to have passed out cold like that.
I'm so glad Farina got to have this fully immersive experience without actually ever feeling like she's truly in danger. That's awesome.
You're right. He's had a lot to deal with.
Well, see you all some other time.
And Farina's just like, I'm going home. Wait, I missed her saying toodaloo because I got.
See you all some other time. Toodaloo.
There we go, toodaloo. Incredible. I just like, yeah, I'm going home now.
Okay. So,
Yes, there it is. Okay, there it is.
Can I ask now?
I think it should be fine, yeah.
What in the world was going on back
And I love
there?
that just so Farina could like want to play this game again. They're just like, okay, let's just keep the immersion going for Farina.
So you saw through all
Oh,
of
come
that.
on, Clorinde. Farina just like has never heard of the game before. They played role-playing games before.
That time in the cave when you told us to close our eyes, it'd be weirder if we didn't
That's
notice anything.
that's incredible. That's incredible. That yeah, because of course. But Farina's just like, man, this is just the best game I've ever played in my life.
I was dying of curiosity the entire time. I mean, you did a pretty bang-up job of pretending nothing had gone wrong. Farina actually looked like she thought all of it
Yeah.
was planned.
She was like, what a script.
Guess
Props.
none of us wanted to be the one to break the illusion.
Yeah, no. At this point, it's like telling a kid that wrestling is real or wrestling isn't real. You know, it's like give him a bit of time. You know.
What are you all talking about?
Wait. No, should we be like, yeah, let's go with Paimon. Yeah, what's going on? Paimon doesn't understand what's going on.
Oh, wait. Don't tell me you never... Ugh, this is all my fault. It's not too late to cover your ears. Here, partner. I'll do
Oh,
it
no
for
problem.
you.
Okay, I'll extend my head out.
A bit late for that, don't you think?
I love that Navi is gonna cover our ears for us, but I love that Paimon thought this was real as well.
You're saying
Or-
everything that happened back there wasn't actually part of the script?
Yeah, Paimon, we were fighting something pretty
It's
scary.
probably more accurate to say this was never a real scripted story to begin with.
I'm in love. This whole quest.
So
Paimon was like, this is like just the best hologram story I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, you! Get up right now and explain yourself!
no shaking, please.
No, shake his head.
Oh, my head.
He needs to be shook a little bit.
Did Paimon just hear that?
The angry eyebrows are gone.
You guys made up that whole last part on the spot?
Yeah, improvisation. She's that good.
It's not nice to lie to people, but Paimon's got to admit, that was a really good story, Florian. Oh, and nice improvisation, Clorinde!
Yeah, and I know this isn't the same thing, but I imagine Paimon sitting there after watching like the Lord of the Rings trilogy and being like, "Wow, I can't believe all that happened in the past." And we're like, "Paimon, that was a movie." She's like, "A movie? Well, look, it's not nice to lie to people, but the effects are pretty great."
Yeah, it was like watching a magician improvise a spectacular magic trick after forgetting an important prop.
Yeah, that's actually a good way of putting it. I'm so glad they appreciate it.
If Paimon knew something was wrong with that vault, she would have floated straight in the opposite direction.
True, very true. Honestly, most people would.
Everything was
No,
under
Paimon's very brave though. She says that, you know, but she would have gone along with us.
As if you've ever described a situation as being out of control. I'm pretty sure any situation you consider to be easy to handle would scare a reasonable person half to death.
True, very true. You're talking about the person like when Navi was in trouble at the time with all those Gardamex. Walston, not even Walston, strolled in to help.
Guess I'm just used to it.
She just said, "Guess I'm built like that." That's what that means. Guess I'm built like that.
You must run into a lot of unexpected situations then. That explains why you're so good at coming up with things on the spot.
That's another great way to describe it because she's always like has to be on her toes. She's very good at improvisation.
As for you, Florian,
I know there's no excuse for what I did. I'll turn myself into the guards at once, confess my crimes, and accept any punishment that comes my way.
Very well.
I would say you've already suffered more than enough.
Clorinde. Clorinde.
What?
You may have been blinded by fame and fortune in the beginning, but your actions during the final battle had proven you to be a true Marechaussee hunter. You'll be far more used to the city above ground than below. Your job as a hunter is more important.
But...
Of course, you'll still need to take the keys and pay a personal visit to the 2 hunters you wronged. Prepare to accept any terms they give you as well.
Yeah, that is true. And Cloran's such a realist while also being someone who's very reasonable as well, right? Because it's like, yeah, it's like, whilst I'm willing to 100% like accept the beauty and the side of redemption, it's also not up to me to like, and I say this all the time in this game from my perspective, whenever people are like, oh, like, you know, why have you forgiven this character so easily? I always say to people, it's just like, it's not my place to forgive any character in this game. It's not. Like, I am not Calvin's not getting harmed by these people. But like, as Clorinde is saying, it's like, you didn't harm me when you took these keys. But whatever they want to do as a punishment, whether they report you to the guards, that's not, that's whatever it is,
Yes, of course.
It's like, I can't stop that.
As far as I'm concerned, though, your showing in the duel was enough to prove your
Nice.
honor.
Then I'll do exactly as you said. I'll go return those 2 keys right now. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll do my best to prove myself worthy of the second chance you've given me. I swear this on my name and honor as a Marashose hunter.
Great.
Until we meet again, everyone.
That was incredible. This whole quest has been one of my favorite presentations of a quest I've ever seen ever. UI, the character animations, the story that how they blurred the lines between the
What should we do about the treasure in that cave?
about the reality and the fiction, how it really felt like they were trying really hard. Like, they tried really hard with this as well. They came up with those new costumes, how they incorporated Cloran's story into this without making it too like it wasn't too like, how do I say, it wasn't too like, it didn't feel like it was not natural. It was natural. It felt naturally implemented into the story as well.
Leave it be.
Are you sure? We could show it to people, make it so that the hunters are remembered. Don't you want that?
Goes against the moral of the story.
No. Every name on that tablet made the same choice. All hunters know what the path entails. I am no exception. My identity as a Marashose hunter is not something I need people to remember. I wish only to be recognized as a champion duelist. Nothing more.
And she embodies that, the Marashose hunters fully, so fully.
That's certainly very different from the path of a magician.
Yeah.
Still, I admire your decision.
That's what's great, is like, you have different perspectives in Fontaine for all these different friends, right? Like, and it makes perfect sense.
Wait, I just remembered something. If there were no special effects involved, why did our weapons begin to glow during the battle?
I'm actually, I don't know the exact reason.
Marashose hunters of ages past would often imbue their weapons with
Right.
special enchantments to suppress the monsters. Whenever a monster was nearby, their weapons would start to glow.
Oh, so that's why they had an effect on that guy near the end. I really thought the summons were doing all the work.
Well, I'm sure the summons were a part of it too.
Oh? How so?
This particular devorator probably hailed from the same era as the hunters we saw in the room. The names you recited all belonged to the bravest hunters. Countless monsters fell to their blades. That's likely why the devorator visibly reacted when you said them out loud.
So the names held the power all along.
This is so beautiful. I love the idea of a power behind a name, but a literal power behind the name as well. So cool.
Navia.
Yes!
Everything you said during your summon.
I thought they were just going to leave it like with no words need to be said, but...
Huh? Oh, I meant what I said. I mean, it was true to my character, so yeah, I'm glad you heard it. Just don't make me repeat myself. It's embarrassing.
It was beautiful. It was one of the most stunning scenes I've ever seen. The idea that, like, again, the acceptance. It's almost like, hey, this is the final nail. We need to, like, put that whole thing to rest. We're together now. You know, we are, like, we're back to the way things were. Not back to the way things were, because they never can be, but, like, it's an acceptance that I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad you were saved all the way back then. All the doubts are gone from I'm not saying there was doubts, but any, like, idea of, like, oh, I wish this changes, this changes. Like, I'm glad we're here today now.
I really appreciated those words.
Oh, Clorinde. Whew. I think it's just hearing someone so tough like Clorinde say this is what like chokes me up a little bit, you know?
All right. Don't get all sentimental on me.
No, get sentimental on us. We'll accept it. We'll accept it.
Anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. I'm going to go on ahead. Don't fall too far behind now.
Navia, please come back.
She ran off.
I should probably head back
Liddy.
as well. This story was truly incredible. I might have to spend the whole night
Oh.
telling my siblings all about it.
He's gonna go back and tell like Fremine and Lynette the story.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
So sweet.
Traveler, should your name and deeds be forgotten, what do you think the significance of your journey will be?
Interesting question. Such an interesting question.
I suppose the significance would be the journey itself and the world we helped create.
Yeah.
There's still value in the time I shared with everyone here, and the things we were able
Oh
to
my God.
accomplish, even if no one remembers them.
This hits so hard for me because today, guys, as I'm recording this, is the 1 year anniversary of where I picked up the controller to start this series and recorded this series. It's the 1 year anniversary. And it hits so hard, even harder when he's saying this now.
A great answer. I'll remember it.
What would your answer be, Clorinde?
Me?
Because above all else for me, and I'm sorry, Clorinde, but I'm going to say it before you say your thing, but before all else for me, like, when I think of Genshin, I think of the characters, and I think of the people we've met along the way, and the people we've helped. I'm like, and seeing the direct change we've seen on the world through world quests and story quests and all this stuff, we've made a real change, and it means the world to me.
The Marachose Hunter says nothing in response to that question.
Oh, just like the reading of the freaking, like a DM.
Perhaps her answer lies in her silence. An unspoken vow left to echo through the night. The path she walks. needs
Oh
no
my God.
explanation.
And that's it. The path through which she walks needs no explanation. A book that commemorates the participants of this game. Can we see that? Is that in the menu? Where would it be? Is this ain't it? Talent shards. Oh, talent shards. There it is. Read. Oh. We get to see this again. Character named Clorinde, Game Master and Tabletop Troupe. Character named Navia, character identity Marachose Hunter. Background, an optimistic, kind-hearted Marachose Hunter who also happens to be a shrewd merchant. She is quick to wit and is exceptionally eloquent, yes. She is very much quick-witted and exceptionally eloquent. Character named Farina, look at Farina as well. Marachose Hunter. Marachose Hunter with beautiful singing voice and a deep grounding in the arts, capable of moving people to their very core through the power of performance. Deep down, she yearns for that someday she might become a performing artist in a more peaceful era. Character skill is art, performance, and summon. This is such a cool design as well. Linny. Character identity Marachose Hunter. Background, the adopted son of Marachose Hunter. His experience roaming the streets as a child has taught him some survival skills. Yeah, and very true to his nature as well, right? Very true. Look at this doctor. Doctor, please. A kind upstanding Marachose Hunter. You introduce yourself to your companions with the following words. I've been studying medicines ever since I was a child. I want to do my part to eradicate these monsters and use what I've learned to heal others. Character skill, medicine, insight, and summon. And there she is, the star, Paimon, Marachose Hunter's good friend. Follows the Marachose Hunter background in the capacity of best friend and guide. Yep. And this is, I'm sorry for getting I'm not sorry for getting a bit emotional because I feel like this quest for me was less about it being sad and more about being affirming with everything. It really felt like it was another reaffirmation of like my love for this game, but also if I could like share this with like Clorinde, not the same experience, but like a reaffirmation on not only of Clorinde's feelings of what it means to be a Marachose Hunter, but what it means to be herself, but also it's a reaffirming of her friendship and love with Navia, which their relationship means so much to me in general. And I know, by the way, me saying friendship isn't saying, you know, to all the shippers out there that it's not that type of relationship. So go wild in the comments. You can do, you always have a space here where you can talk about that stuff as well. you'll never be shamed. At least not by me, ever, for anything like that. But yeah, I feel like this was like in the end, it was a really cool way of like telling Clorinde's story, but it didn't feel like it was like Clorinde's character. It wasn't too direct. It was very much like a subtle way of telling her story in her past, while also showing who she is as a person now, which is someone who's trying to help other people and trying to do her duty. She doesn't want to be remembered as someone who's like this amazing, we might fall and die here. So the subtle nature of Clorinde told a very subtle story here as well, which I think is an absolutely amazing idea from the developers of this game to keep it very subtle. Not that there was parts in this game that were anything but subtle, but like I'm talking about subtle in the way that they like weaved it between the fiction and the fact and the truth and all this stuff, and how they ended up having Clorinde help somebody in the end, just like a Marechaussee Hunter would. And the scene at the end with Navia holding up that short sword, being like, I'm glad that you saved my friend. I'm glad that you saved Clorinde. To me is like. It's a top 10 scene only because like that's how you like this has been built up for a long time, the story of Navia and Clorinde. This has been going on for a while, since we saw them and heard about them together. This has been a story that's been very common. Not very common, but like very, very like there. And I feel as though that story had a lot of twists and turns. We didn't know how, especially within the first scene, we saw them together at the fountain and things like this. We didn't know how they're going to react to each other. We saw that after all the stuff that happened with Fontaine, they're willing to give it another go. And then we've been seeing them together a lot. Like we saw them in the Lantern Rite event. We saw them together, which was really nice. We saw them at the start here together, and they're playing D&D together. And that scene with the sword to me, was, again, like I said, it was Navia saying to Clorinde, I'm glad all those years ago that you were saved. I really am. And it's, to me, it puts an end to the kind of like any of those feelings. Because remember, throughout this whole quest, they were like still, I didn't mean to do that, but they're still doing that thing where they were like kind of feeling like every time the past is brought up, they got a little bit awkward. But I feel like this puts an end to that, where they can probably still now talk about the past while still caring about each other and moving forward. I think that's a perfect way to put it in my opinion anyway. Yeah, like I said, the UI was fantastic. The actual character designs were fantastic. Everything they did here was like really, really, just like really stunning. It was really stunning. They made a choice here that was so perfect. And the designs are really cool. I wonder if the design changes. I was not close enough then at all. That's very bad. I wonder if the design changes depending on what you choose at the start. I'm imagining that it does. And if it does, that's really sick. Like I'd love to see maybe like if there's like we had a chef there as well. So maybe there's a chef. We probably need to put a healer on this team of some sort, maybe. But then again, Xingqiu does heal. Yeah, that's actually a grand team, and obviously like Fischl and Xingqiu are on the team, so like it's probably difficult for it not to be a good team at this stage. And not that the other ones aren't pulling the weight. Kaching is an amazing character, but I'm just saying those two are more well built. But yeah, I really feel like that moment lets them now maybe talk about the past and reminisce about the past without feeling a little bit awkward about the past as well. Not that it's not normal to feel awkward about the past as well. Yeah. And this is also cool, like bringing up the Marechaussee Hunters again, Cassiodor Est as well. They did a good job integrating that as well. Again, like I said, very subtle. The whole story, like, it's weird to say this about a story that had all these big costumes and it was a D&D campaign with everyone acting. It was still very subtle, right? The way they did the real story within it as well, and the way they revealed everything, and the way they kept us in the dark about what was actually happening as well. I thought they did a good job with that as well. Clorinde and Navia's relationship means a lot to me. And I feel like this was not the final step, just a very fantastic step in the right direction for me, personally. Because when you say final, it sounds like it's over. I mean, just in the case of like, it's more just like a step in the direction that is the final form of their friendship, which is true understanding how both of them feel, and they don't have to openly say it anymore because they know how Navia feels, and Clorinde appreciates what she said as well. Beautiful stuff as well, guys. Just a beautiful mission. I adored it so much. Some cool lore as well about the Marechaussee Phantoms and how they how I guess they are appreciated or not appreciated. We heard more about Cassiodor as well, which is freaking awesome as well. But with that, guys, I'm going to say thank you to Typhara2, Jamie Bull, Janet Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicitas Felix, Ewald, Radish, Anusta, Malcolm Conde, Death Trap, Lynx Markey, Assassin, Alpaca Juice, Eopsy, Xander Whatever, True Peanut Butter, and Jared Beanham. And thank you all so much for supporting this channel. And I'll see you all so soon. Lynette, you've never done the thing yet. Let's do the thing. Surprise!